Christmas starts here at H&L Rapid True Value. Get Christmas ready by shopping the latest in our catalog. The time brought to you by H&L Rapid True Value is...
Nationwide time, 5 o'clock.
Crisp and refreshing. Room temperature or chilled. A pure water would drink. The temperature by Pure Water is...
30 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 29 out west in Montego Bay.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Robianne Williams.
In Nationwide News at this hour, Indicom is expressing fears the country is on track to see the most people killed by the security forces in Jamaica in more than a decade.
The current projection shows that unless trends are reversed by the security forces in Jamaica, 2024 will see the highest level of security force fatal incidents since 2013.
MP Dr. Angela Brownberg says politics is blocking progress to get the Oakland Crescent roadway repaired.
While I see road work progressing in other constituencies led by government officials, there has been a complete lack of transparency when it comes to Southwest St. Andrew.
The PMP's Damian Crawford says the new Education Minister, Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, has a tall order ahead of her.
The Senate today approved new rules for financial conglomerates to better safeguard the country's fiscal systems.
Pilot found with ganja in his suitcase pleads guilty.
In news from the rest of the world, the IMF says Guyana is well ahead of the region for projected economic growth.
Trump and Harris visit battleground Michigan and Wisconsin as election day nears.
In headline sports, West Indies hunt a series clincher against England in second one-day international in Antigua.
And later in our broadcast, in the cover story at 5:35, Indicom is fearful Jamaica is on track to see more people killed by the security forces in more than a decade. What's led to the worrying trend? Assistant Commissioner of Indicom, Hamish Campbell, will tell us.
In public opinion at 6:26, we ask, Halloween in Jamaica, yay or nay? Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio and message us on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your comments on Instagram at Nationwide 90FM.
At 7, the government in the Cayman Islands is on the brink of collapse after 3 cabinet ministers and the parliamentary secretary resigned with immediate effect. You'll hear more.
And at 8, it's the A-Team with Dennis Brooks.
All these and more as we take you home on air, on your mobile, Nationwide 90 FM, Nationwide Radio, JM.com, and on the Nationwide app. Available on the Google Play and the App Store. This Friday afternoon, it's a lovely Friday, November 1, 2024.
News at 5 is brought to you by Fostrich Company Limited, fostering rich customer service.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
And now to the details. The Independent Commission of Investigation, Indicom, is expressing fears that the country is on track to see the most people killed by the security forces in more than a decade. The Commission shared the grim projection during its second quarterly media briefing this morning. Shalois Michael reports.
According to Indicom, 149 people have been killed in shootings involving the security forces so far this year. Assistant Commissioner at Indicom, Hamish Campbell, says this number could significantly increase by year's end.
In 2023, fatal shootings amounted, as said, to 155 citizens killed and a further 99 people were shot and injured, which was a 16% increase over 2022. However, as of yesterday, the 31st of October, 149 people have been killed so far this year and a further 66 people shot and injured. And as pointed out, the current projection shows that unless trends are reversed by the security forces in Jamaica, 2024 will see the highest level of security force fatal incidents since 2013. In 2013, it was 253. So there is a significant issue at present.
According to Mr. Campbell, there has been an 80% increase in fatal shootings by security forces since 2019. He notes that up to October 31 this year, there's also been an increase of Jamaicans being killed or injured despite not being in possession of a weapon.
The report talks about the incident of multiple death incidents, that is the number of people killed in a singular incident, and in 2023 that number was 20. But so far this year, multiple death incidents have accounted for 30 people being shot and killed. There were 2 incidents where 4 people were killed in the single matter, and 2 incidents where 3 people were killed, in addition to the multiple double fatal shootings that we see. What we also noted was again the issue of a person being shot and killed, or a person being shot and injured where they have no weapon at all, neither a firearm nor any other weapon, a stone, scissors, stick or other implement. And that was a feature last year and has been a feature for over a decade.
Mr. Campbell says within the first 10 months of 2024, 40% of individuals killed by security forces were targeted during planned police operations.
The one area which is illustrative of the increase in the fatal shootings is the planned policing operation. Last year it was 15. As of yesterday,
Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, Mr. Campbell is reiterating Indicom's call for body-worn cameras to be effectively used during planned police operations.
in not one of those planned operations, as already identified, was body-worn cameras deployed. And we make the point that body-worn cameras are available to the Jamaican Constabulary Force. They are equipped to some 100, 200, and those body-worn cameras need to be deployed with the specialised operation teams, the fugitive apprehension teams, the CTOC and specialised, so that when these operations take place, there will be an accountability as to what has occurred. Because whilst we have the account and narrative from the police, many of these shootings in the planned operations, a different account is being provided by the citizens, some witnesses and family members.
He explained that body-worn cameras are sometimes not activated during specialized operations by the police.
So far this year, 4 body-worn cameras were affixed to officers where they were engaged in non-fatal shooting incidents. In 3 of those 4, the officers did not turn the cameras on. And on the 4th occasion, the officer turned the camera on post the event. So we see a post-incident matter where an injured person has been shot by the police. Those matters have also to be reported to the Commissioner of Police. So whilst body-worn cameras are being deployed in certain circumstances, there seems to be a pattern. They're not being activated.
Hamish Campbell, Assistant Commissioner of Indicom.
The Member of Parliament for South West St Andrew, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, is suggesting the politicization of the government's $40 billion road repair program has led to the Oakland Crescent roadway in her constituency being ignored. She's demanding that taxpayer dollars be spent in a fair and equitable manner.
I understand the growing frustration of residents who must navigate worsening conditions, particularly during each rainfall that only makes things worse. While I see road work progressing in other constituencies led by government officials, there has been a complete lack of transparency when it comes to Southwest St Andrew. Let me be clear. These are taxpayer dollars, and we will continue to demand that Oakland Crescent and all critical infrastructure in our constituency receive the attention and action it deserves. I will not relent until Southwest St Andrew receives fair and equitable treatment.
The issue came to public attention after a video showing the poor state of the road began circulating online. When our news team visited Oakland Crescent earlier this week, the residents say the sidewalk is now their roadway. The residents expressed their frustration, saying the road resembles a riverbed with potholes. Dr. Brown-Burke says residents have been left in limbo while infrastructure projects proceed in other areas. She says the road has been recommended for inclusion in the government's ongoing road repair program.
Oakland Crescent has been in dire need of a complete overhaul for far too long. Initially, it was recommended for inclusion in a $40 million road patching program, but was disqualified due to the severe level of rehabilitation it requires. After numerous consultations, it was clear from the residents and community members alike that Oakland Crescent should be our top priority for road repairs. I therefore made sure it was listed as the top priority. However, since the Spark consultations in June of this year, and despite follow-ups, I have received no further communication regarding approval or even a timeline for when work will begin.
Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, the Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Andrew.
Meanwhile, at least one resident of Oakland Crescent says the road has not been properly fixed since at least 2007. She says the road was last fixed under a Jamaica Labour Party administration.
No, sir, this is not a road. This is no road. This is not gully and this is not road. Because we have to switch on a pass, not even the sidewalk or road. Pumpkin a grow. We don't know where, we don't know. We can't even drive a car on the road. We have to take the next road. This is not no road. When in 2007, Porsche of them dropped them mall. Because Labour Right when they take up back the mall, Labour Right fix the road. Labour Right fixed it in 2007 and I don't remember it fixing again from that time. Maybe it fixed again from that time, but not from 2007. That's what I remember. A $700 for tip on shoes, you know. And every week when I go to church in one heels, I have to tip it. The shoes make the right up, so I have to tip it. And that's not fair. One road, one justice. Angela Brown-Burke, you need to come out now.
A resident of Oakland Crescent in Southwest St. Andrew.
Opposition spokesman on education, Senator Damian Crawford, says the new portfolio minister, Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, has a tall order ahead of her. The senator says there are a raft of outstanding issues that require urgent attention. Absenteeism, infrastructure, violence, and poor examination results are at the top of the agenda. Norgay Banton has more in this report.
Senator Damian Crawford was a strident critic of the former minister's handling of the portfolio. He says with the new leadership in education, he's expecting several changes, but he accepts it won't be easy.
It's a tall order, a tall task for the new minister to learn very quickly. As I said, her zeal and her energy should contribute to a better performance, but at 18%, small changes would not be sufficient for us to adequately improve the education offering.
Senator Crawford is calling on Minister Dixon to immediately move to address what he says are high levels of absenteeism across rural and urban area schools. The state of violence in schools is also an area he says requires urgent attention.
We also believe that the violence in school was being given mainly lip service, and immediate action and curative action is needed to reduce the violence, the abuse, and the physical and the mental abuse many students are facing in schools.
Earlier this year, the ministry reported that for the period January 2022 to January 2023, it received 55 critical incident reports from the nation's schools. The majority of the reports were related to violent incidents. Senator Crawford has also flagged the state of many school plants as needing the minister's urgent attention.
Without a new budget, it might be difficult, but the minister should also look into infrastructure. Termites have infested many of our schools, and we have seen that in parishes that did not receive high levels of hurricane wind or rain, there was still extreme damage to our school infrastructure. In those areas, though houses next door to that infrastructure withstood the hurricane. It is because many of our schools are in a dilapidated state, and the minister should immediately, in crafting this new budget request, seek to have that attended to.
The new minister has called for a collaborative approach to addressing the challenges facing the sector. Norgay Banton for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, Senator Crawford is expressing hope that he will have a closer working relationship with the new minister. Crawford says Morris Dixon has already been in touch with him.
Myself and Senator Dixon, I would suggest have a reasonable relationship. I'd say a good relationship. And I think if we can expect anything, it is that we may work more closely than myself and the previous minister. And I extend that that invitation to Senator Dixon, who has called me since, and I hope that we can work more closely together. The public knows the PMP stance on education, and the public knows the JSP stance. We can always leave that to the public's determination in an election. But until then, I'm very willing with my team to work with Senator Dixon to improve education.
The senator says a positive sign so far is that the Skills Training Institute Heart NSTA Trust has been returned to the education portfolio. He says it should have never been moved to the office of the Prime Minister.
That separation, in our opinion, was ridiculous and ludicrous, and we're happy to see that they once again joined together because vocational education is not having failed secondary school, but indeed should be a central cog of the education system from secondary school. And in agreement with the past minister, even introduction at the primary school, not necessarily in the task, but with the understanding and the lucrative nature that many vocational jobs have created.
Senator Damon Crawford, opposition spokesman on education, he was speaking with Nationwide News on Friday.
You're listening to the news on Nationwide at 5. We'll have more after these.
Value Drug Pharmacy offers curbside pickup and delivery of your branded and generic drugs. WhatsApp your prescription to 876-881-6695. The time by Value Drug Pharmacy is...
It's 15 minutes after 5.
Rentokil Initial is the expert in pest control, air purification and hygiene services. Call today 876-926-4236.
The temperature by Rentokil is
30 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 29 out west in Montego Bay.
It must stop. It have to stop. Gang violence is not the solution to our problem. It will only cause pain and suffering. Let's find non-violent ways to solve our conflict. Let's work together to create a safer and peaceful Jamaica. Let's all live good.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Continuing the news. The Senate has approved new rules for governing financial conglomerates operating in Jamaica to better safeguard the country's fiscal systems. Industry Minister Senator Aubin Hill told the Upper House conglomerates pose a significant risk to financial stability.
The financial crisis experienced by Jamaica in the 1990s, the collapse of the CL Financial Limited, the holding company of Colonial Life Insurance Company, CLICO, Trinidad, and the recent global economic crisis of 2007 highlighted the significant risk that financial groups can pose to the growth and stability of both global and local economies. These crises expose situations in which regulatory supervisory regimes did not fully identify or mitigate the risks and the potential adverse systemic impact associated with complex group structures. Those have been identified, and we know how painful they can be. Due to their economic reach across sectors and jurisdictions, financial groups present huge challenges for supervisory oversight.
A financial conglomerate is a group of companies under common control whose exclusive or predominant activities consist of providing significant services in at least two different financial sectors, such as banking and insurance. Senator Hill says a recent assessment found several deficiencies in the oversight of such conglomerates in the Caribbean region. He says this leaves the financial system vulnerable. Utilizing amendments to the Financial Services Commission Act will further empower the FSC to provide oversight to conglomerates.
As such, this bill, the Financial Services Commission Amendment Act, seeks to enhance the regulatory framework for effective and comprehensive group-wide supervision of non-deposit-taking groups. The amendments to the Financial Services Commission Act, FSCA, consequential amendments to the Pensions, Superannuation Funds and Retirement Schemes, Insurance and Securities Acts will further empower the Financial Services Commission to conduct group-wide supervision and the promulgation of a new set of regulations to govern the FSC's group-wide supervisory framework.
Senator Aubin Hill, the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, he was speaking in the Senate this morning.
A pilot who was held with parcels of ganja at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston in April 2023 pleaded guilty to the charges on Friday. He's 37-year-old Kenado Thomas, a Turks and Caicos national. Thomas was fined more than $200,000 when he appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. He was charged after 18 pounds of ganja were found in his suitcase while he attempted to board an airplane he was scheduled to fly. At the time of the incident, Thomas was employed by a well-known airline. For possession of ganja, he was fined $15,000. For attempting to export ganja, he was fined $260,307. This after his attorneys at law, King's Counsel Peter Champagny and Samoy Campbell, urged the court for leniency on his behalf. The charges of conspiracy to export ganja and dealing in ganja were dismissed. Thomas had been on bail since last year.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology and integrity.
The World in a Minute.
The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, says Guyana is well ahead of the region for projected economic growth going forward. The fund says Guyana, not unexpectedly, leads Latin America and the Caribbean countries with a projected growth rate of 43.8% for 2025. This is due to Guyana's long-confirmed significant oil resources and clear indications that neighboring Suriname is knocking assertively on the global oil market. Other countries mentioned in the growth rate lineup include Antigua and Barbuda, Aruba, Belize, and the Dominican Republic. They are all forecast to grow by more than 5% in 2025. Dominica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica are all forecast to record growth between 4 and 5%. Still, the IMF says 2025 will, on the whole, be a year of economic slowdown in the hemisphere.
Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are campaigning in the key swing states of Wisconsin and Michigan, with 4 days left to go before the November 6 presidential elections. The focus has shifted to the Midwest, with both Republican Vice President pick J.D. Vance and his Democratic counterpart Tim Walz appearing in Michigan. Harris and Trump held late-night campaign events on Thursday in the vital southwestern states of Nevada and Arizona. More than 66 million people have already cast their vote in early voting. This is more than the early voter turnout record set in 2020.
World in a Minute was brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology and integrity.
Recapping the top stories making nationwide news at this hour, Indicom is expressing fears the country is on track to see the most people killed by the security forces in more than a decade.
The current projection shows that unless trends are reversed by the security forces in Jamaica, 2024 will see the highest level of security force fatal incidents since 2013.
MP Dr. Angela Brownberg says politics is blocking progress to get the Oakland Crescent roadway repaired.
The PMP's Damien Crawford says the new education minister has a tall order ahead of her. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Robianne Williams.
You can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app available on the Google Play and the App Store. News next, the headlines at 6.
News at 5 was brought to you by Fosrich Company Limited, fostering rich customer service.
With Jamaica Automobile Association, membership is a win-win. Enter the JAA Fuel Up promotion and you could win the grand prize of JAA Gold membership for 1 year, plus fuel valued at $240,000. Just purchase, renew or upgrade your JAA membership or use your individual JAA advance card to buy at least $10,000 of fuel a month. So, fuel up! There's also monthly prices of $20,000 in fuel. Enter now. JAA Fuel Up promotion ends December 13, 2024. Conditions apply.
Jamaica, your government has delivered. 100 brand new CNG buses are now rolling out across the island. Enjoy lower bus fares, short wait times, and air-conditioned comfort on every ride. Enjoy a smoother commute and more savings every day. It's all part of our commitment to lower the cost of living and improve your daily commute.
Brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
The National Land Agency, NLA, is advising that effective October 1, 2024, the Land Administration and Management Division, LAMD, attorneys certified by LAMD and the Geoland will be authorized to submit land applications to the NLA under the Registration of Titles, Cadastral Mapping and the Tenure Classification Special Provisions Act for all 14 parishes of Jamaica. The LAMPA 2 contract between the National Land Agency and the Geoland Title Limited ended on September 30, 2024. For further information, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. Two more teams, Campion College and the last season's beaten finalist Hydel High School, today booked their spots in the quarterfinals of the ISA Digicel Manning Cup competition. Champ Campion College secured the second spot in Group 1 behind the champions Mona after beating St. Jago High School 1-0 at GC Foster College to finish second to finish their round of 16 campaign with 6 points, 3 behind winners and defending champions Mona, who closed out the round of 16 with maximum 9 points after beating St. George's by 3-0 today. Hydel took second spot in Group 3 with a 1-0 win over Wolmers, while Kingston College topped the group on goal difference despite losing 1-0 to St. Andrew Technical High. The last set of spots will be filled tomorrow when Groups 2 and 4 are decided. Tivoli Gardens, they need only a draw against Eltham to secure the second spot from Group 2, while Eltham must win. In Group 4, Jamaica College needs only a draw against the already qualified St. Catherine to advance, while a big win for Calabar over Charlie Smith and a Jamaica College defeat could see the boys from Red Hills Road advancing to the quarterfinals. Manchester City will attempt to remain top of the English Premier League table when they travel to Bournemouth tomorrow. The pair meet at the Vitality, where Phil Foden secured a 1-0 win earlier this year. The Cherries are facing a third straight game against one of the last season's top fours, and they've never beaten this weekend's visitors in their history. Adoni Irola's men have drawn 2 and lost 18 of their all-time meetings with Manchester City, which is the most that one English side has faced another without winning. Bournemouth fared poorly against teams top of the EPL table with a 100% losing streak, although they've picked up 7 of their 11 points so far when playing at home. In other fixtures tomorrow, Newcastle will welcome the Gunners of Arsenal, Ipswich will host Leicester City, Liverpool will entertain Brighton and Hove Albion. Now the Nottingham Forest team will take on West Ham, Southampton will take on Everton, and Wolverhampton Wanderers will visit the capital to take on Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. The West Indies opener Evan Lewis says the aim of the team is to take the first opportunity they get to close out the series against England when the two meet in the second one-day international at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium tomorrow. The Windies lead the 3-match series 1-0 following their 8-wicket loss. The 8-wicket win in their first game last night. Lewis says he's hoping the team can replicate what they did in the first game to ensure they clinch the series ahead of the final game.
I think we just have to be playing the cricket we have been playing, be positive of what we're doing. It's important to try and win the second game so we can actually close out the series. I think we have the support from the coaching staff, so we just have to go out there and execute.
Informed West Indies batsman Evan Lewis. The Jamaica Scorpions will be seeking their first win of the 2024 CG United Regional Super 50 tournament when they face the West Indies Academy at the Brian Lara Stadium tomorrow, and it's set to start at 9 o'clock Jamaica time, 9 a.m. The Scorpions started the campaign with a 24-run defeat to the Barbados Pride on Wednesday. Meanwhile, champions Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, they're 81 for 1 after 21 overs. They're chasing 183 to win against the Windward Islands Volcanoes in their day-night game at the Brian Lara Stadium. Tion Webster is not out on 43. Earlier, the Windwards made 182 all-out in 45 overs. Jeremy Saluzano and Sonny Lambree scored 47 apiece as Anderson Phillip, Yannick Correa and Joshua James bagged the 2 wickets apiece. Jamaican-born Canadian sprinter Donovan Bailey says he once contemplated running for the country of his birth, Christie was born in Spalding, Manchester, before migrating to Canada at the age of 12. Speaking on the Pals, the multiple Olympic and World Championship medalist says he considered running for Jamaica after a dispute with the Canadian Olympic Association.
I almost ran for Jamaica. Yeah, absolutely. I was having problems with the Canadian Olympic people in 1994 when I started training full time. And at that time, I was ranked number 5 in the world. I got sick at our Commonwealth trials in Victoria, and they didn't put me on the team because I didn't have international experience. So I petitioned them to sign off so I could come and run for Jamaica in 1994. Okay. Then I would have joined Michael Green and them guys. Michael Green, Raymond Stewart at the time. I think Raymond was, getting at the twilight of his career. And a couple other really good guys. But yeah, John Muir. But yeah, I almost did. I almost did.
Yeah, that's Don Bailey. And he was a former world record holder as well. Pretty accomplished, yeah? And that's what we'll do for sport. We're going to be back with more at 6:05.
Since 2016, 156,000 more Jamaicans are working. This is more than any other time in our history. Your government is caring for you.
The time brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister is
5:30.
I don't have no time for whole heap of paperwork. That's why I downloaded and signed up for my OneJane Passport app. Get it all in one go. Download and sign up now. The temperature by the OneJane Passport app is
30 degrees Celsius here in the nation's capital, Kingston. It's 29 in the western city, Montego Bay.
With Jamaica Automobile Association, membership is a win-win. Enter the JAA Fuel Up promotion and you could win the grand prize of JAA Gold membership for 1 year plus fuel valued at $240,000. Just purchase, renew or upgrade your JAA membership or use your individual JAA advance card to buy at least $10,000 of fuel a month. So fuel up! There's also monthly prices of $20,000 in fuel. Enter now. JAA Fuel Up promotion ends December 13, 2024. Conditions apply.
The Philharmonic Orchestra of Jamaica and the Concert Chorale of Harlem present Eclat Opera, a breathtaking evening of arias, classics, spirituals, and jazz at the Little Theatre. 2 shows, November 16 and 17. Tickets at Monarch Pharmacy, Sovereign and Barbican, Fontana, Waterloo, Music Mart, and online at Eventbrite. The Philharmonic Orchestra of Jamaica and the Concert Chorale of Harlem in concert November 16 and 17 at the Little Theatre. Main sponsors, the Jamaica Tourist Board and the Chase Fund. Details available on Facebook and the press.
Guilty. Outperform, outlast. Guilty. With top performance. Guilty. Jackhammer. Reliable. Full stop. Not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Fancy select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. In 2 to 3 years. Hilton. Available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply. We service what we sell.
Improving our relationship with you.
The Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, is improving its relationship with you, our valued customer. Our new customer relationship management system will help us to better understand your needs, communicate with you, and address your issues faster. Contact us online and let us help you. The new system is a joint project of PICA and the Transformation Implementation Unit.
Improving our relationship.
Building a better public sector for all.
This is your chance to upgrade your kitchen with the Mega Kitchen Promotion. Tune in to Outside with Pepita from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Mega Kitchen Promotion at Megamart, 29 Upper Waterloo Road on Saturday, November 2, 2024. Spend $6,000 or more before GCT at any Megamart location for a chance to win a brand new stove, fridge, and microwave this Christmas. Come on down to Megamart Waterloo for all the excitement, hype, and games. Walk away with prizes and interact with your favorite brands and products. Don't miss out. Come to Megamart Waterloo for the fun and leave smiling with prizes. Join us outside with Pepita on Saturday, November 2 from 2 to 5 p.m. It's the Mega Kitchen Promotion at Megamart, 29 Upper Waterloo Road, Kingston, or tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by Megamart. Due to the live stream of the Mega Kitchen Promotion outside broadcast on Saturday, November 2, 2024, Design Studio will be aired only from 1 to 2 p.m. Nationwide 90 FM apologizes for any inconvenience caused.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business. The cover story is brought to you by New World Home Improvement and Detail Cleaning. Detailed cleaning for your business and home.
New World Home Improvement and Detail Cleaning offers high-quality detail cleaning and home improvement services. They cater to residential and commercial properties. They clean from the ceiling to the floor. They clean sofas, mattresses, carpets, and chairs. They deep clean and restore all floors. They repair and restore roofing. They do tiling, general paintings, drywall works, and other carpentry services to include property renovation. Call them 876-384-9313. Follow them at New World Detail Cleaning and Home Improvement.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for staying with us, and if you're just joining us, welcome. This is Nationwide at 5. It's time for the cover story. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And my name is Sanjay Lewis, and on the cover story this afternoon, we're looking on Indicom's quarterly briefing, and that's because the Independent Commission of Investigation, Indicom, is expressing fears that the country is on track to see the most people killed by the security forces in more than a decade. The Commission shared the grim projection during its second quarterly media briefing on Friday. And according to Indicom, 149 people have been killed in shootings involving the security forces so far this year.
Assistant Commissioner at Indicom, Hamish Campbell, says this number could significantly increase by year's end. And he's also reiterating the Commission's call for body-worn cameras to be effectively used during planned police operations. He explained that body-worn cameras are sometimes not activated during specialized operations by the police. He joins us now. Good afternoon, Mr. Campbell.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you so much for joining us. Give our listeners a sense of what you're seeing in terms of the trend lines so far for fatal shootings by the security forces.
Yes, I'll try not to avoid too many numbers, but last year's fatal shootings, as you said, amounted to 155 people killed and 99 were shot and injured. So 2023 fatalities was a 16% increase over 2022, where there were 134 people killed. And at the moment, till the end of yesterday, 31st of October, 149 people have been killed in 2024. So that is just 6 short of the whole total of 155 for last year. But, you know, the Commission is looking, others are obviously more broadly. The lowest figure in the 11, 12 years I've been here was in 2019, when 86 people were fatally wounded by the security forces. And since 2019, so these last 48 months to the end of 2023, there's been an 80% increase in the persons who are killed by the security forces, primarily the JCF. Obviously, they're the law enforcement body for the country. So that 80% increase in 48 months, 4 years, is significant. Mm-hmm. We haven't finished this year, 2 more months to go, and we're 6 short of last year's figures. But what is equally apparent is we record every shooting, of course, by week and by month. And in the last 4 months, the fatalities since June have read as 20 killed in June, 15 in July, 21 in August, 21 in September, and 17 just gone. The police force in Jamaica... Sorry.
No, finish the point.
I was going to say the police force in Jamaica hasn't seen, and we haven't seen this level of fatalities per month of over 20 since as far back as 2017. And you have to go back to 2011, 12, and 13, where every month, almost 8 to 9 months out of every year in those 3 years, fatal shootings exceeded 20, sometimes as high as 40 a month. That is not an area where the police force in Jamaica needs to return to, where the number of fatalities is increasing monthly. And we perceive a reason for why it's increased so heavily, but there's 2 months left at this rate. On the current trajectory of this level of shootings, will be just short of 200 fatalities for this year, which would be the highest number since 2013.
And that is where exactly... Right, and that is where I wanted to take you, the reason given by the police force for us seeing this increase in fatalities. What were those reasons that they provided?
Well, to be fair to the JCF, they haven't provided us with a reason as to why these fatalities have increased or occurred. We perceive, and myself and the Commissioner can see, that the proportion, the number of people who are killed so far this year in planned policing operations has increased significantly. So we plan and map out how many people as a proportion of the total were killed in organized planned operations where there's a search warrant for persons or people or property. And that is where we can see the stark increase. And so far this year, 58 people out of 149 have been killed arising from planned police operations. Now, those sort of figures weren't even as high as that in 2011, 12, 13, where the proportion of people being killed in planned operations amounted to about 32 to 38%. Then it dropped significantly because the Commission made some significant inroads and discussions with the police. You must produce your plans, you must produce your documents, you must explain the rationale and how you ensured right to life was protected as much as possible, and other features. And so we saw the number of people killed from a planned operation, bearing in mind that's where they least likely to be killed because there's sufficient numbers, training, skilled officers, equipment, etc. To prevent it, it fell down to 9%. And yet this year, we can see that the fugitive apprehension teams are operating sometimes once, twice a day. Fatal shootings occurring within 24, 48 hours by fugitive apprehension teams. The Counterterrorism and Organised Crime Command engaged in operations. And so we've had this increase this year, significant increase in planned ops. And we wrote 2 reports, 2014 when I was here, 2016, scrutinizing in some granular detail the nature of these operations, the officers involved, the repeat officers involved, the command officers involved, to see if there's a pattern and practice which is ignoring right to life, ignoring police protocols or not. And a further report will be published next year on this point. But this is an early observation as to the increase and where it might be arising from.
Right. So the reason you perceive is the operations.
Yes.
Okay. And let me.
Yeah, certainly.
Right. And let me understand something, Assistant Commissioner. These fatal incidents, how many of them has INDECOM been able to adjudicate as being justified use of force?
Well, for this year, we haven't finalized many of the reports in terms of, we do the investigation, we make an assessment. We define, not a majority, but we define a number where we would mark it as suspicious, where the accounts provided by the police are contradicted by witnesses, family members, residents. So we can see where we have some doubts and concerns in relation to the narrative provided. But that's a long remove from any consideration at a later stage by the legal department for prosecutions, if at all. But a significant number are regarded as suspicious. But of course, citizens, when they tell us one thing, will not make a report on that. They will not make a written signed testimony.
Right.
So we're left with frequently a dilemma where we can't move this matter forward because these individuals are not ever going to make a statement or ever come to court.
Mm-hmm. And help me pin that down. You're saying that of the instances where you think there is, let's call it, as you said, suspicious, the circumstances are suspicious.
Yes.
You're saying those account for the majority of these fatal shootings?
No, I wouldn't want to say that at this time because we haven't done the full analysis for this year. But a significant, if I'm candid, a significant and troubling proportion of the reports we received post-event indicate a different story. And I think that moves on to the key issue, which Commissioner Faulkner has raised time and again, and myself, is that if body-worn cameras were affixed to these teams and provided to these specialist operational teams, then a different picture would emerge, which would provide evidence for the police, evidence for the courts, and accountability and explanation to the public. Because we're hearing too often that these planned operations are not as stated, that the person is moved into a room on their own, that they're shot when other people are outside, that guns are later planted. Not in all cases, but it's too many to be. It is to be too many, and which is troubling.
Yes.
But cameras, body-worn cameras, would
bring some certainty.
Yes, and not in all cases, but we find it troubling that for all the shootings last year, fatal or otherwise, nobody wore a body-worn camera which worked. Of the 4 body-worn cameras worn this year in a shooting incident where someone has been injured, 3 out of the 4 were not turned on.
Right.
But no body-worn cameras are even being deployed with the specialist operation teams. And our point is, they are available. They need to be distributed more equitably and, practically for these teams to wear them on these planned operations.
Let's pick up on that after the break, because I want to follow up on that one, Assistant Commissioner. We're speaking with Hamish Campbell from Indicom. We take the break and come back.
Clearing personal, non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
15 minutes to 6.
Upgrade your kitchen and bathroom to the next level with Unique Living. They're the ultimate destination for all your kitchen and bathroom needs, from luxurious shower systems to exquisite faucets, vanities, sinks, toilets, closets, and more. They have it all. Visit shop number 6, 30 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston 10, or call them at 876-755-3661. Elevate your space with Unique Living, where quality meets expectations.
Yo, run the track! Burger King 5K and Relay is back Sunday, November 10th, 6 a.m. New venue, Emancipation Park. Register with your school, alma mater, or companies to win a share of over $1 million. Past students, run, walk, or crawl, but finish the race for the BK Big Finish Prize. Register now at www.runningeventsja.com. Yo, run the track! Burger King 5K and Relay. Sponsored by Rainforest, Soccer Express, CVM, and Sun City. Burger King, developing schools and communities through sports.
With Jamaica Automobile Association, membership is a win-win. Enter the JAA Fuel Up promotion and you could win the grand prize of JAA Gold membership for 1 year plus fuel valued at $240,000. Just purchase, renew or upgrade your JAA membership or use your individual JAA advance card to buy at least $10,000 of fuel a month. So fuel up! There's also monthly prices of $20,000 in fuel. Enter now. JAA Fuel Up promotion ends December 13, 2024. Conditions apply.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. It's the cover story. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And my name is Sanjay Lewis. We're speaking with Assistant Commissioner at Indicom, Hamish Campbell. And just before the break, Assistant Commissioner, you spoke about the need for the officers to wear the body-worn camera. And given that the body-worn cameras can help the police with many of these cases and also help Indicom, what has been the pushback from the police for them not wearing those body-worn cameras?
Well, I was a police officer, as many would perhaps know, for many years in England. I think it's an organisational, cultural issue. It's not just for the Jamaican Constabulary Force. Police forces around the world internationally are not comfortable with oversight. There comes a belief system that they are always right and they know best. And body-worn cameras have been implemented across the Americas, South and North, and almost every police force in Europe. And it didn't come easily or with the greatest acceptance from the police unions, federations as they're called, and other bodies. There's always been a challenge, but nevertheless, they are there now and embedded because, it goes without saying really, but body-worn cameras isn't 21st century equipment. The use of cameras to record and document and provide transparency is decades old. And it is an anomaly that Here within the JCF, obviously funding would have been a critical issue in the early days, the correct equipment, the infrastructure behind the scene to build up the ability to have that many cameras. Those are all things which are absolutely correct and raised by the Commissioner, Dr. Blake, in the past. But we've moved beyond that stage because body-worn cameras are on the Jamaican Constabulary Force and officers are wearing them. And our point is, there needs to be an operational senior leadership decision to say this group will have the priority to wear them. Not everybody in public service and transport executive branch needs to wear them, or the other police officers. There, the critical issue lies with these operations which are resulting in an increase in fatalities. Well, then let us ensure and provide that assurance to the community and the public that these matters are occurring exactly as the police say. And then that will provide the confidence and community reassurance. But without it, and never really, to be honest, receiving an explanation as to why you're not providing them to the Fugitive Apprehension Team, Counter-Terrorism Command, Specialized Ops, that creates suspicion, which may be completely unfounded. So cameras are critical in that way, and I think police officers will follow their leaders. Everybody follows their leaders. That's why there are leaders. If you make the decision to wear them, and you will wear them, then they'll be worn. And the Commissioner Blake has made it clear that he supports the use of body-worn cameras, but he's highlighted and identified some other tactical and technical issues which have initially hampered its rollout. But it's here. It is now. And I have to say, sorry.
But then considering that, the response you just gave from the Commissioner, is it then fair to say it's a institutional resistance to the practice?
I think there's institutional resistance in all organisations, and the police are no different, and there's been institutional resistance from the JCF on many features which have been reported outside of Indicom in relation to embracing technology, electronic books, a whole range of actions, just putting cameras into the police stations, just ensuring that those CCTV in the cell area are working, functioning, up to date. Yes. They are, we reported on that last year, equally a troubling area where there doesn't seem to be the drive to go, this camera's broken, let us repair it. Let us get this done now. But that's the trouble, and that's, I think, at an individual level, some officers think, I'm not going to turn it on. And so we are witnessing failure to turn on and activate cameras which have been given to officers, which Commissioner Blake, I say, was very forceful and strident when we explained it to him, that it was unacceptable of those officers who are equipped with body-worn cameras not to activate them.
Okay. So certainly from the perspective of the leadership, you're getting the idea that there is support for it.
Yes.
Okay. I want to take you back to the matter of how the figures are reported, Assistant Commissioner, because I just want it to be clear.
Yes.
In the reporting, do you use the language, or are any shootings, fatal shootings, characterized as justified?
I don't think we use the word justify. When the investigators here complete their report,
yes,
an investigation report is submitted to our legal department. The legal department will examine that in the light of, is there a sufficiency of evidence or an insufficient evidence to support a criminal prosecution or recommendation for discipline?
Okay.
And really the courts would have to determine the justification. Is this account by an officer using deadly force justified for him or her? That's really where it's for others to make that determination. But the legal system will determine, is there a sufficiency of evidence upon the evidence available, which actually provides, a prima facie case, a standard which goes, no, this requires a judgment by others, normally a jury or a police discipline board if it's a discipline matter as opposed to a criminal matter.
Understood. So then the report then captures and reports all the fatal shootings, making no distinction as to whether the legal department may have recommended no charges or not.
It doesn't, well, without getting into detail, it does on the back of our quarterly reports, but it's not. So we've given a report now for these numbers. Not all the legal team, not all these cases will have a legal report at this time.
Oh, but some may still be under investigation.
Very much so.
Okay.
But every quarter report to Parliament lists in the back of that quarter report the outcome of the legal department's decisions for every shooting, assault, or any other matter to which has been reported. But of course, some of those reports are many months and sometimes years after the event. But all matters are made available and publicly available on our website and to Parliament.
Okay, and that's important because sometimes, the listeners will ask what became of them. So I just wanted you to be clear so they understand where they can look when they want to have a clear picture. But you're saying some of these may not come to finality or resolution until perhaps some years after in some instances.
I'm afraid so, because we're reliant on, for the conclusion of a report, the Commission relies on the forensic laboratory to submit to us the ballistics report. And Commissioner Faulkner has made it plain over many years. The key area which hampers the delivery of the Commission's report is the backlog and delay at the laboratory, no fault of their own in one way, just volume of submitting ballistics reports. And we can't submit a report to either the DPP's office or our own legal department, normally, without the ballistics evidence. If it's urgent matter critical, then of course exceptions apply.
That's very helpful. Thank you, Assistant Commissioner. And I want to ask you about, Indicom has been around now for quite some time, and it's been a part of our apparatus or state apparatus. How would you assess the relationship that Indicom now enjoys with the security forces?
Well, I would describe it I would describe it as professional and cordial and respectful of each other. The Commissioner Faulkner, we've engaged every year with all the commissioners or the heads of the JDF, the Department of Corrections, the Commissioner of Police, and our directors of complaints here, the 5 senior directors who oversee the regions. They are in almost daily, if not daily, regular weekly contact with the senior commanders of the divisions they cover, Area 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we provide to other staff sensitization programs in some of the areas more successfully than others. And there was a greater cooperation. When I came in 2013, there was friction and a rubbing of differences. But I think a lot of that has moved away. And the greater majority of officers comply with the requirement to come here to be interviewed, make statements in a timely fashion, provide an explanation without the hindrance and difficulties that were experienced many years ago. But at the same time, we're a professional body, and the Indicom has an independent role to perform, as do the police when they interact with citizens. And I think we try to be as professional, respectful, and cordial as possible. And I would hope that continues. Where it doesn't, and there's difficulty, myself, the Commissioner, other senior officers here would engage one-to-one. I've never had a problem, I have to say, with ever speaking or getting in touch with deputy commissioners of IPRO or other commands when it's necessary.
Okay.
But as it relates to the public, though, Assistant Commissioner, do you think that Indicom needs to do more work so that the public can understand what exactly Indicom is doing and how you go about doing, especially for these reports that you just explained to us?
Well, that's a fair question. I think if I was candid again, the answer would be yes. And Commissioner Faulkner is working on that plan to be able to further reach out to communities and sections with a team here and enhancing our staff, our ability to actually have some more people to do that engagement within our public directors department. So that is something which is in the Commissioner's 5-year plan to engage further with communities, and that is also soon to be rolled out more effectively.
Yeah. Assistant Commissioner of Indicom, Hamish Campbell, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Keep up the good work.
All the best.
Hamish Campbell there, the Assistant Commissioner of the Independent Commission of Investigations, Indicom, expressing some concerns that on the current trend line, we may see the most people killed by the security forces in Jamaica in more than a decade. No clear-cut response as to whether and to what extent these shootings that we've been seeing have been justified shootings. But he does say that month on month, they're seeing increases that are worrying.
And he did indicate, though, Ricardo, that there is an increase in the number of operations also done by the police. So that possibly could also contribute to more fatal shootings that we're seeing.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, but on the face of it, though, Ricardo, I'm happy that he explained how they go about doing the report, because I think that more Jamaicans need to understand, you know, the role of Indicom, now not so much the role of Indicom, but how they go about compiling these reports.
Right. And it's so important because a lot of people will hear the headline numbers and then, as he said, I know there's a table at the back, but most people don't ever get to that table. They hear the headline numbers and they run with that. So happy to hear that they're working on improving relations with the public and communicating with the public so that there is more clarity, because there's absolutely no doubt that Indicom is necessary. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's the cover story. The headlines are next.
The cover story was brought to you by New World Home Improvement and Detail Cleaning. Detailed cleaning for your business and home.
The time brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy is
6 o'clock.
Nationwide headlines at 6.
Good evening with the headlines at 6. I'm Shalois Michael. The Independent Commission of Investigation, Indicom, is expressing fears that the country is on track to see the most people killed by the security forces in more than a decade. Hamish Campbell is the Assistant Commissioner of Indicom.
In 2023, fatal shootings amounted, as said, to 155 citizens killed and a further 99 people were shot and injured, which was a 16% increase over 2022. However, as of yesterday, the 31st of October, 149 people have been killed so far this year and a further 66 people shot and injured. And as pointed out, the current projection shows that unless trends are reversed by the security forces in Jamaica, 2024 will see the highest level of security force fatal incidents since 2013. In 2013, it was 253. So there is a significant issue at present.
Mr. Campbell says within the first 10 months of 2024, 40% of individuals killed by security forces were targeted during planned police operations.
One area which is illustrative of the increase in the fatal shootings is the planned policing operation. Last year it was 15. As of yesterday, the number of people killed in planned operations this year is 58 from 50 operations. So 40% of people killed so far this year have come from planned operations where these specialised teams are entering properties, yards, premises, and the person is ending up dead.
Meanwhile, Mr. Campbell is reiterating Indicom's call for body-worn cameras to be effectively used during planned police operations.
In not one of those planned operations, as already identified, was body-worn cameras deployed. And we make the point that body-worn cameras are available to the Jamaican Constabulary Force. They are equipped to some 100, 200, and those body-worn cameras need to be deployed with the specialised operation teams, the fugitive apprehension teams, the CTOC and specialised, so that when these operations take place, there will be an accountability as to what has occurred. Because whilst we have the account and narrative from the police, many of these shootings in the planned operations, a different account is being provided by the citizens, some witnesses and family members.
Hamish Campbell, Assistant Commissioner of Indicom. Member of Parliament for South West St. Andrew, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, is suggesting politics has led to the Oakland Crescent roadway in her constituency being ignored. She is demanding that taxpayers' dollars be spent in a fair and equitable manner.
I understand the growing frustration of residents who must navigate worsening conditions, particularly during each rainfall that only makes things worse. While I see road work progressing in other constituencies led by government officials, there has been a complete lack of transparency when it comes to Southwest St. Andrew. Let me be clear. These are taxpayer dollars, and we will continue to demand that Oakland Crescent and all critical infrastructure in our constituency receive the attention and action it deserves. I will not relent until Southwest St. Andrew receives fair and equitable treatment.
The issue came to public attention after a video showing the poor state of the road began circulating online. Dr. Brown-Burke says the road has been recommended for inclusion in the government's ongoing road repair program.
Oakland Crescent has been in dire need of a complete overhaul for far too long. Initially, it was recommended for inclusion in a $40 million road patching program, but was disqualified due to the severe level of rehabilitation it requires. After numerous consultations, it was clear from the residents and community members alike that Oakland Crescent should be our top priority for road repairs. I therefore made sure it was listed as the top priority. However, since the Spark consultations in June of this year, and despite follow-ups, I have received no further communication regarding approval or even a timeline for when work will begin.
Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, MP for Southwest St. Andrew. Meanwhile, at least one resident of Oakland Crescent says the road has not been properly fixed since at least 2007. She says the road was last fixed under a JLP administration.
No, sir, this is not a road. This is no road. This is not gully and this is not road. Because we have to switch on a pass, not even the sidewalk or work. Honking a grow. We don't know where, we don't know. We can't even drive a car on the road. We have to take the next road. This is not no road. When in 2007, Porsche them dropped them mall. Because Labour Right when they take up back the mall, Labour Right fix the road. Labour Right fixed it in 2007, and I don't remember it fixing again from that time. Maybe it fixed again from that time, but not from 2007. That's what I remember. A $700 for tip on shoes, you know. And every week when I go to church in one heels, I have to tip it. The shoes make the right up, so I have to tip it. And that's no fear. One road, one justice. Angela Brown-Burke, you need to come out now.
A resident of Oakland Crescent in Southwest St. Andrew. Opposition spokesman on education, Senator Damian Crawford, says the new portfolio minister, Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, has a tall order ahead of her. The senator says there are a raft of outstanding issues that requires urgent attention.
It's a tall order, a tall task for the new minister to learn very quickly. As I said, her zeal and her energy should contribute to a better performance, but at 18%, small changes would not be sufficient for us to adequately improve the education offerings.
Senator Crawford is calling on Minister Dixon to immediately move to address what he says are high levels of absenteeism across rural and urban area schools. The state of violence in schools is also an area he says requires urgent attention.
We also believe that the violence in school was being given mainly lip service, and immediate action and curative action is needed to reduce the violence, the abuse, and the physical and the mental abuse many students are facing in schools.
Senator Damian Crawford, opposition spokesman on education. The Senate has approved new rules for governing financial conglomerates operating in Jamaica to better safeguard the country's fiscal systems. Industry Minister Senator Aubin Hill told the Upper House on Friday that conglomerates pose a significant risk to financial stability.
The financial crisis experienced by Jamaica in the 1990s, the collapse of the CL Financial Limited, the holding company of Colonial Life Insurance Company, CLICO, Trinidad, and the recent global economic crisis of 2007 highlighted the significant risk that financial groups can pose to the growth and stability of both global and local economies. These crises exposed situations in which regulatory supervisory regimes did not fully identify or mitigate the risks and the potential adverse systemic impact associated with complex group structures Those have been identified and we know how painful they can be. Due to their economic reach across sectors and jurisdictions, financial groups present huge challenges for supervisory oversight.
Senator Aubin Hill, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce. A financial conglomerate is a group of companies under common control whose exclusive or predominant activities consist of providing significant services in at least two different financial sectors, such as banking and insurance. Those were the headlines at 6. I'm Shaloy Smichael. Sports is next.
When Sagicor Bank thinks of a woman, here's what we see. We see business leaders managing sole trader businesses to large corporations. We see university graduates as our women uplift themselves academically. We see more home owners, ambitious women working hard to build their own legacy. We see leadership at home, with women proudly providing for and taking care of their families. We see entrepreneurs, Jamaican women playing a leading role in our economic growth. At Sagicor Bank, we see the invaluable contribution of women in the home, communities, businesses, and development of our country. That's why we're in their corner, supporting Jamaica's women as they strive to achieve their dreams.
The Ministry of Local Government and Community Development celebrates November as Local Government and Community Month under the theme Local Government at Work, Facing the Future Together. And you are invited to our National Church service on Sunday, November 3 at 10 a.m. at the Webster Memorial United Church, 53 Halfway Tree Road, Kingston. You can find the date, time, and location for all other events and activities at www.localgovjamaica.gov.jm. Come celebrate Local Government and Community Month with us.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90FM is searching for business development executives to build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Good evening with your sports report. I'm Alrix Raby. We kick things off with some football as two more teams, Campion College and last season's beaten finalist Hydels High, today booked their spots in the quarterfinals of the Issa Digicel Manning Cup football competition. Campion secured the second spot in Group 1 behind champions Mona after beating St. Jago High 1-0 at GC Foster College to finish their round of 16 campaign with 6 points, 3 behind group winners and the defending champions Mona, who closed out the round of 16 with maximum 9 points after turning back St. George's College 3-0. Hydel took second spot in Group 3 with a 1-0 win over Wolmer's, while Kingston College topped the group on goal difference despite losing 1-0 to Stats. The last 3 spots will be filled tomorrow when 2 and 4 are decided. Tivoli Gardens need only a draw against Eltham to secure the second spot from Group 2, while Eltham must win. In Group 4, Jamaica College need only a draw against already qualified St. Catherine to advance, while a big win for Calabar over Charlie Smith and a Jamaica College defeat could see the boys from Red Hills Road advancing. Manchester City will attempt to remain top of the English Premier League table when they travel to Bournemouth tomorrow. The pair meet at Vitality Stadium, where Phil Foden secured a 1-0 win earlier this year. The Cherries are facing a third straight game against one of last season's top 4 and have never beaten this weekend's visitors in their history. Bournemouth have drawn 2 and lost 18 of their all-time meeting with City, which is the most that one English side has faced another without winning. Bournemouth fare poorly against teams top of the EPL table with a 100% losing streak, although they have picked up 7 of their 11 points so far when playing at home. In other fixtures, Newcastle welcome Arsenal, Ipswich hosts Leicester City, Liverpool entertain Brighton, Nottingham play West Ham, Southampton face Everton and Wolves play Crystal Palace. Now to cricket, as West Indies batsman Evan Lewis says the aim of the team is to take the first opportunity they get to close out the series against England when the two meet in the second one-day international at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium tomorrow. The Windies lead the three-match series 1-0 following their 8 wickets win in the first game. Lewis says he's hoping the team can replicate what they did in the first match to ensure they clinch the series ahead of the final game.
I think we just have to be playing the cricket we have been playing, be positive of what we're doing. It's important to try and win the second game so we can actually close out the series. I think we have the support from the coaching staff, so we just have to go out there and execute.
Evan Lewis. The Jamaica Scorpions will be seeking their first win of the 2024 CG United Regional Super 50 tournament when they face the West Indies Academy at the Brian Lara Stadium tomorrow starting at 9 o'clock Jamaica time. The Scorpions started the campaign with a 24-run defeat to the Barbados Pride on Wednesday. Meanwhile, champions the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force are 142 for 3 after 28 overs, chasing 183 to win against the Windward Islands Volcanoes in their day-night game at the Brian Lara Stadium. Tian Webster is not out and 71. Earlier, the Windwards made 182 all-out in 45 overs. Jeremy Solorzano and Sunil Ambris scored 47 each as Anderson Phillip, Yannick Carrier and Joshua James bagged 2 wickets each. Now to track and field, as Jamaican-born Canadian sprinter Donovan Bailey says he once contemplated competing for the country of his birth. Bailey was born in Spalding, Manchester, before migrating to Canada with his family at the age of 12. Speaking on the Powells, the multiple Olympic and World Championships medalist says he considered running for Jamaica after a disagreement with the Canadian Olympic Association.
I almost ran for Jamaica. Yeah, absolutely. I was having problems with the Canadian Olympic people in 1994 when I started training full time. And at that time, I was ranked number 5 in the world. I got sick at our Commonwealth trials in Victoria, and they didn't put me on the team because I didn't have international experience. So I petitioned them to sign off so I could come and run for Jamaica in 1994. Then I would have joined Michael Green and them guys. Michael Green, Raymond Stewart at the time. I think Raymond was, getting at the twilight of his career. And a couple other really good guys. But yeah, John Mayer. But yeah, I almost did. I almost did.
Donovan Bailey. Now to badminton, as Jamaica Badminton Association JBA declared November a badminton month. The association will kick off their month-long celebration with the first ever Jamaica Badminton Sports Summit on November 9. The summit, designed to elevate the performance and knowledge of Jamaica's aspiring athletes, will set the stage for a month filled with competitive events and educational initiatives aimed at advancing badminton at all levels in Jamaica. President of the JBA, Vishwanath Tolan, explains the driving force behind the summit.
Topics to be covered include things such as branding you, crafting your legacy beyond the court or beyond the field, which will really focus on how to master your social media and attract sponsors, build your own personal brand as an athlete. We're also going to be focusing on fueling the champion within you, mind and muscle, and that will essentially explore the synergy of mental toughness, nutrition, injury prevention, and how to find your peak physical performance. The final topic would be mastering your role on your elite pathway and understanding essentially how athletes, coaches, agents, family contribute to the creation of a winning mentality.
Vishwanath Tolan. Now, the Jamaica Gymnastics Association has selected a 73-member team for the inaugural Carifta Gymnastics Championships at the National Indoor Centre from November 29 to 30. They'll be joined by teams from Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Aruba, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Bermuda and the Bahamas. President of Jamaica Gymnastics, Nicole Grant, says the selection was done in 2 phases.
We have chosen the kids from the last Jamaica Classic that was hosted this year, February, and for the compulsory kids. And then they started training together, and we had a final selection last week where a judge was basically came down to Jamaica and did the judging for us. And from there, we selected the best gymnasts based on their scores.
Grant hopes that Jamaica will stand at the top of the medals table at the end of the tournament.
what is important for many Jamaicans is where we fall on the medal table. Well, for us, I know that our gymnasts will do well, but it's also a whole development process. This is the first Carista Gymnastics, so we're hosting it, and we're using it as a whole developmental process where we, as a group, as a region, can develop the sport of gymnastics together, because when compared to the other regions, we are far behind, and we have to do it as a team. We have to do it as a unit. We definitely will play on the medal table, but as it relates to where we're going to place, we are working very hard to ensure that we are at the top of the table.
Nicole Grant. And final in golf, as the 57th Jamaica Open Golf Championships is set for Trial Golf Club in Hanover from November 10 to 12. The Pro-Am tournament will tee off with a shotgun start on November 9. It will feature the majority of the pros and the amateurs playing in teams to share skills, generate camaraderie, and introduce the course to the overseas-based golfers. 60 players from the United States, Canada, Trinidad and Tobago, Bermuda, the host Jamaica, are registered to compete. Professional Andrew Arth of the USA is the defending champion. The playing format will be stroke play, 18 holes each day, for a total of 54 holes. Peter Chin is the chairman of the organizing committee.
We're expecting a very successful event. Based on the injuries so far, we have surpassed last year's numbers. The difficulty we had with this tournament in terms of injuries was from the pandemic. The numbers have been rising, but have not gotten back to the level that they were. We are hopeful every year to increase the prize money, because that's what attracts the top professional golfers and the numbers. So the prize money this year, if we have a full field, it's $110,000 US.
Peter Chin. I'm Alric Swiby, and that's your sports.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
6:20.
Former staff of Jamaica Mutual Life and Jamaica Mutual Properties. For beneficiaries of the pension schemes or their next of kin or beneficiaries of their estate are invited to contact Guardian Life at 12 Trafalgar Road, Kingston 10 or 876-927-4105, extension 2794, or GLL Pensions at myguardiangroup.com to make arrangements to claim their pension and or any other benefits payable.
KFC popcorn chicken. KFC popcorn chicken. Incredible, delicious, finger licking in the sauce when me dip it. I can't resist it. Once you start, you can't stop.
Do whatever the crunch you want with KFC's popcorn chicken. Delicious, juicy, irresistible. Now available in barbecue. KFC, it's finger licking good.
KFC popcorn chicken.
You can have it all. Company events, birthday parties, or the wedding of your dreams. It's all possible at Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts. We have magnificent event rooms and a dedicated team that will make your event the best experience that only Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts can offer. Contact us at 876-619-0000 or call your favorite travel agency and ask about our promotion designed especially for you.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Good evening, and welcome to Public Opinion. I'm Roby Ann Williams. It's a Friday evening, which means we're not at work tomorrow, some of us. A special good evening to our friends on our YouTube platform. Thank you so much for tuning in. We ask you to weigh in live in the comments section on today's Public Opinion. Now, as Halloween gains popularity worldwide, its presence here in Jamaica is sparking mixed reactions. Once considered a largely foreign tradition, the The holiday is now marked by parties, costumes, trick-or-treating in some Jamaican communities, and I'm sure we've seen videos. We've seen the videos, we've seen the pictures on social media, but not everyone is on board, yeah? Some see it as fun, harmless celebration, while others believe it clashes with our culture and religious values. So where do Jamaicans stand on this growing trend? We explore this evening. Public opinion, we're asking, Halloween in Jamaica, yay or nay? What do you think? Halloween being celebrated in Jamaica. We'll start with the comments on our X platform. Parallel Society is saying, go to America for that. Wealthy Kid believes that it's not a Jamaican tradition. Well, we didn't say that it was a Jamaican tradition, but, we've seen it here. The Patriotic One is saying a big nay, but Jamaica has become fully Americanized now, where all of a sudden everyone wants to celebrate Halloween. And it's really sad because many of them don't even know the significance of it. Optimist is saying no. Prince Hampton saying yay. Nitram is saying a big fat nay. Yeah? And Danny Pay is saying that this country is one big Halloween already. Add anything more to it? And a problem. All right. If you're just joining us, we're asking you about Halloween here in Jamaica. Is it a yay or a nay for you? On Instagram, Zoe School is saying Jamaica needs Jesus Christ, not Halloween. Okay. Kada is saying, don't know since when we start follow up them thing there. And Tia Hella is saying everything Jamaican follow. Yeah? J. Mayer, I think Jamaicans want something to enjoy. We're a boring society. I don't know about that. Some people would disagree. But this is the court of public opinion. So here we go. J. Mar is saying that we're a boring society. We just get up, sit in traffic, and go back home. What Jamaicans want is something to celebrate, some fun to have. It's not Halloween necessarily. All right. Ingenious is saying too fala fashion. Yeah? And we Jamaicans, we know what that means. We're too fala fashion. All right. Coca Brown is saying, nah, we too fala. America squeeze, we catch cold or flu. Princess Milan is saying nay. Simone Anderson Simpson is also saying nay. And she went further to say sometime we too little bit enough. Halloween enough for we. America think that. Yeah, and I'm seeing no coming from Shay Love. Let's see. Empress is saying no to the Halloween. Shax is saying that we shall not take up this day. Yeah. All right. A lot of comments coming in on this one. I'm seeing yes from G Money. Rose is saying yay. Let me see. Max is saying that it is rubbish. Halloween is rubbish. Tonya Singh, no, everything we in just another expense that many who cannot afford will try to keep up with. And Kayoki is saying yes. Y'all got to do all manner of evil and immortality when dancehall culture and fake. Okay. Leave me. Let me dress up as a cat. Okay. All right. Well, I can safely say for me, it has been, fun. It has been fun for me looking at the different costumes. Winston on Facebook is saying a resounding no duppeting in a Jamaica. Shins for Life is saying Halloween is satanic, is a satanic ritual, but Jamaicans not already endorse it long time. And Philip Jackson is saying Halloween to me is about duppy. Why would we want to invoke evil spirit while having little regard for the living? Natalie Winter saying yes to Halloween. Jamaica takes this traditional practice from the US and it mostly practiced by guests in hotels to bring that Halloween togetherness when you are far from home. Reed Johnson is saying yes to Halloween, and she's saying that the creativity would be great, although not everyone would take part. Yeah? Fabian is saying that it's neither here nor there. Halloween in Jamaica, it is neither here nor there. Rosalind Buck saying that we don't need to copy everything. Yeah? If you're just joining Public Opinion, we're asking your opinion on Halloween in Jamaica. What do you say? Is it a yay or is it a nay? Audrey Allen is saying nay. This is one time when America sneeze and Jamrat don't have to catch the cold. Think we all know what that means. Anthony Shake saying no. The criminals will dress up in costumes and rob people. Wow. Interesting. Nicholson Nicola say no way. Enough devils already passing through. Why Jamaica like to copy the US? How about JA taking a Thanksgiving Day? All right. Let me see if I can get to some of the comments on our YouTube platform. Make we hear what them are saying. Barbara Ellington says those Europeans who migrated to the US took it with them. Yeah. Mercy is saying all the kids doing is dressing up like Spider-Man and other Marvel characters and go about getting a bag of sweets. Okay. Baby Toy is saying why is questioning why everything foreign do we do. So why our dollar can go further than the airport? Oh boy, who done it says some of the teachers who recently okay, that's unrelated to the question we're asking here. Joseph Powell says Halloween is the devil party. All right. Let me see. Denzel M says nonsense holiday. My picnic don't participate in this. I'm seeing nay coming from Maureen Bryan. It's not for Jamaica, she says. Charmaine Walker believes so we're too enough and we're too full of fashion. Yeah? Yeah? That's what Charmaine Walker is saying. We too enough. Barbara Ellington is saying nerp. No way. No to Halloween. Rav is saying Christmas enough for uno either. Okay. Okay. Maureen Bryan, not at all. Mercy again saying I believe Jamaica is working hard to be adopted by the US. Okay. I mean, for me, to each his own. If you choose to participate, if you know the real meaning behind it and you choose to participate, it's up to you. It's neither here nor there for me. And that's just my opinion. Don't come at me for my opinion. But, you know, everyone has their views on it. Whether it be yay or nay, it's up to you. The children in particular, they like it. They like to dress up. They like the whole idea of dressing up. And I can see my daughter nodding her head at me to say yes, they like the dressing up. They may not necessarily know the whole meaning behind it or so, but they like the dressing up. They like maybe, I don't know, I was in the news meeting earlier today and they're saying that, you know, maybe it's the upper side who allow their children to go out for the candy, the sweets. Not necessarily, you know, certain areas don't allow that, but the dressing up, yes. And I like the dressing up aspect of it. Not necessarily the costumes will look like Duppy and the one them will look like them with a run you down. I don't like the part there, but you know, the nice little cute bunnies. The nice little cute bunnies or spider. Denzel M. said, Robian, can't believe you like the Duppy holiday. It's not like I like it, Denzel. I don't like it. It's not like it. It's just neither here nor there for me. It's really and truly neither here nor there for me. Precious Soul said, not in Jamaica. And Barbara Ellington said, we must teach them about it. Brenton Forbes said, my kids don't. Yeah. CAJ saying they like it because we introduce it to them. And you know, enough Jamaican, we attack out here when we go foreign, we adapt it, you know, we all for it. I'm just saying, to each his own opinion. You don't have to like it, but if you see somebody doing it, don't take it up on your head and go, you know, bash the people them. For them life, make them do what them want to do. If them want them pitney do certain things, it's them. It's them. Andrea Brown says, graveyard and bone make it make sense. Yeah, ask, make it make sense? Carleen Smith is asking, cute or traditions are disappearing? Marigold Weber says, no. Barbara Ellington, nothing about Halloween should be observed here. Baby Toy says, and I believe it's for the kids and sweets, but the blood and those foolishness, no. Master Jam is asking, Halloween is not like Christmas. Okay, Halloween is evil. No joking around. Well, I'm not joking, Master Jam. I really and truly just don't have a particular view or an opinion of it. To each his own, you know. This is the the court of public opinion, and if it is that they like it, then it's theirs. Thank you guys so much for participating in public opinion. That's all the time we have. Up next, the business report. Stay tuned.
Public opinion was brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, industrial automation and control solutions.
Drive the most exciting new vehicles in Jamaica. Schedule your 2024 Ford Ranger pickup or Ford Everest 7-seater SUV test drive now. Call or visit KIG today.
The time by KIG is
6:33. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Nationwide's Business Report. I'm Robianne Williams. Air Canada will be making 14 weekly flights into the island for the upcoming 2024-25 winter tourist season. The airline will be flying 3 times per week from Montreal to Montego Bay, 7 times a week from Toronto to Montego Bay, and also 4 times a week from Toronto to Kingston. The winter tourist season begins on December 15 and runs until April 2025. Further afield, jobs growth in the U.S. slowed sharply in October as hurricanes and strikes disrupted the economy. Employers added 12,000 jobs last month, much lower than the 223,000 created in September, and that's according to the Labor Department. But while hiring slowed, the unemployment rate held steadily at 4.1%. The closely watched figures, which give an indication about the strength of the U.S. economy, are the last to be released before Americans head to the polls on Tuesday to elect the country's next president. And finally, in the currency markets at the close of trading today, it cost 159 Jamaican dollars and 23 cents to buy $1. It cost 205 Jamaican dollars and 69 cents to buy $1 British pound, and 115 Jamaican dollars and 91 cents to buy the Canadian dollar. That's the business report. I'm Robianne Williams. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It's going to be a special celebratory weekend for me. Tomorrow is my birthday. Good evening, everyone.
When Sagicor Bank thinks of a woman, here's what we see. We see business leaders managing sole trader businesses to large corporations. We see university graduates as our women uplift themselves academically. We see more home owners, ambitious women working hard to build their own legacy. We see leadership at home, with women proudly providing for and taking care of their families. We see entrepreneurs, Jamaican women playing a leading role in our economic growth. At Sagicor Bank, we see the invaluable contribution of women in the home, communities, businesses, and development of our country. That's why we're in their corner, supporting Jamaica's women as they strive to achieve their dreams.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Does your bra ride up your back? Do your shoulders hurt from carrying the weight of your breasts? These are signs of an ill-fitting bra. When was the last time you were fitted by a bra fit specialist? The bra experts at LaBelle Femme will take care of you. Drop into the store at 53 Lady Musgrave Road, Tuesdays to Saturdays from 10 to 5, and you will see the difference. Or call 876-622-6091.
Not a mercy.
This one is very classic, dedicated to all the schoolers who are taking them.
If you've ever struggled to pass an exam, then you'll know that students today are under great pressure to get good grades and secure qualification needed to move on to higher education. The problem is that too many students are struggling alone and could really benefit from connecting with hardworking teachers and other bright students in other parts of the country and the region. Join me, Dennis Brooks, this and every Friday evening from 8 to 9, with a repeat on Saturday morning from 8 to 9. For the A-Team, a study group on radio, my team of teachers, students, and experts will break down the syllabus, giving you information, tips, and past paper questions that will help you get top grades in your upcoming exams. Follow us on Facebook Live and on Twitter and be a part of the community. It's the A-Team. Fridays at 8 p.m. with a repeat at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. It's your free extra class on radio and social media. And it's right here on Nationwide 90 FM, the revolution in media.
This is your chance to upgrade your kitchen with the Mega Kitchen Promotion. Tune in to Outside with Pepita from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Mega Kitchen Promotion at Megamart, 29 Upper Waterloo Road on Saturday, November 2, 2024. Spend $6,000 or more before GCT at any Megamart location for a chance to win a brand new stove, fridge, and microwave this Christmas. Come on down to Megamart Waterloo for all the excitement, hype, and games. Walk away with prizes and interact with your favorite brands and products. Don't miss out. Come to Megamart Waterloo for the fun and leave smiling with prizes. Join us outside with Pepita on Saturday, November 2 from 2 to 5 p.m. It's the Mega Kitchen Promotion at Megamart, 29 Upper Waterloo Road, Kingston, or tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by Megamart. Due to the live stream of the Mega Kitchen Promotion outside broadcast on Saturday, November 2, 2024, Design Studio will be aired only from 1 to 2 p.m. Nationwide 90 FM apologizes for any inconvenience caused.
It's a showdown of the shows. 6 shows, 1 winner. Who will it be? Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. from Monday, November 4 to Monday, November 11 for the NNN Quiz Competition. Get ready for the ultimate test of knowledge in our thrilling NNN Quiz Competition. Friendships have been transformed into rivalries as our shows compete in the ultimate showdown. With each correct answer, the excitement builds, and with each incorrect one, opportunities are lost. The stakes are high, and the listeners will be on the edge of their seats. The NNN Quiz is back. Tune in between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. during CliffViews Online from Monday, November 4 to Monday, November 11 for the NNN Quiz Competition. Who will emerge victorious on this edition of the NNN Quiz Competition? Find out only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. The NNN Quiz is brought to you by the Student Center, the Jamaican Association for Debating and Empowerment Jade Limited, Wellington Dental, Mark's Superstore, New Pack, Hydrate Water, Mats Unlimited, and JTA Credit Union.
Nation's Business is brought to you by BH Paints. Paint it, love it with BH Paints.
Good evening, good evening. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. It's time for the Nation's Business. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And my name is Sanjay Lewis. Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Andrew, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, is suggesting politicization of the government's $40 billion road repair program has led to the Oakland Crescent roadway in her constituency being ignored. She is demanding that taxpayers' dollars be spent in a fair and equitable manner.
I understand the growing frustration of residents who must navigate worsening conditions, particularly during each rainfall that only makes things worse. While I see road work progressing in other constituencies led by government officials, there has been a complete lack of transparency when it comes to Southwest St. Andrew. Let me be clear. These are taxpayer dollars, and we will continue to demand that Oakland Crescent and all critical infrastructure in our constituency receive the attention and action it deserves. I will not relent until Southwest St. Andrew receives fair and equitable treatment.
That's Dr. Angela Brown Burke. Now, the issue came to public attention after a video showing the poor state of the road began circulating online. When our news team visited Oakland Crescent earlier this week, the residents say the sidewalk has now become their roadway. Dr. Brown Burke says the road has been recommended for inclusion in the government's ongoing road repair program.
Oakland Crescent has been in dire need of a complete overhaul for far too long. Initially, it was recommended for inclusion in a $40 million road patching program, but was disqualified due to the severe level of rehabilitation it requires. After numerous consultations, it was clear from the residents and community members alike that Oakland Crescent should be our top priority for road repairs. I therefore made sure it was listed as the top priority. However, since the Spark consultations in June of this year, and despite follow-ups, I have received no further communication regarding approval or even a timeline for when work will begin.
And that's the Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Andrew, Dr. Angela Brown Burke. Meanwhile, at least one resident of Oakland Crescent says the road has not been properly fixed since at least 2007. She says the road was last fixed under the JLP administration.
No, sir, this is not a road. This is no road. This is not gully and this is not road. Because we have to switch on a pass, not even the sidewalk over. Honking a go. We don't know where, we don't know. We can't even drive a car on the road. We have to take the next road. This is not no road. When in 2007, Porsche of them dropped them mall. Because Labour Right win then take up back the mall, Labour Right fix the road. Labour Right fixed it in 2007, and I don't remember it fixing again from that time. Maybe it fixed again from that time, but not from 2007. That's what I remember. A $700 for tip on shoes, you know. And every week when I go to church in one heels, I have to tip it. The shoes make the right up, so I have to tip it. And that's not fair. One road, one justice. Angela Brown Burke, you need to come out now.
A resident there of Oakland Crescent in Southwest St. Andrew. Joining us now is the Minister with Responsibility for Works, Robert Morgan. Good evening, Minister.
Hi, good evening. Thanks for having me, and thanks for your listeners for tuning in.
Not a problem. Are you familiar with the situation on Oakland Crescent?
Well, I've been seeing the reports on social media and in the newspapers, and I listened to your report this evening on Nationwide at 5.
And from what you know, Minister, have you been able to check if what Dr. Brown Burke indicated that a recommendation was made for the road to be repaired as top priority under the Spark program? Is this the case?
I don't know where top priority comes from. Each constituency would have had a consultation where the representatives, the community, and so on would have recommended approximately 10 roads. The 10 roads are not listed on a priority basis. It's just 10 roads that should be considered for rehabilitation. We're in the process of scoping those 10 roads for each constituency. And based on the budget of Spark, $40 billion plus $5 billion for pipes, we will see how much of the 10. Some constituencies will get 5, some will get 4, some will get 8, depending on the length of road. So there was never a conversation with anyone about priority. That is, that the constituents will have a input into which roads are done first, but we are not at the stage yet to determine which is priority and which is not priority.
And as far as you're aware, Southwest St. Andrew would have already had their consultations?
Yes, they did. 62 out of the 63 constituencies would have had their consultations. I mean, we did have some challenges with some constituencies where political representatives sought to interfere with the process of the consultation. But for a vast majority of the constituencies across the island, we never had any challenges.
And there's the accusation, or at least a suggestion from the Member of Parliament, that her constituency is being ignored while the ones that are represented by government members are getting attention. How do you respond to that?
I don't see any evidence of that. The first constituency that we did as part of the SPARK consultation was Anthony Hilton's constituency, which is not a government constituency. Additionally, the consultations were not run by politicians. It wasn't run by me or the Prime Minister. It was run by the Constituency Development Fund, an entity that every single Member of Parliament interacts with almost on a weekly to a monthly basis. And they have never really been accused of politicking. I think what has happened to Dr. Angela Brown Burke is that she has been caught in a particular position where after over 50 years of consistent stewardship of this constituency by the current opposition, and she has been there for approximately about 10 years, thereabout, or 8 years, that you have a situation like this where they have always controlled the parish council, and this is a parish council road. They have always controlled the constituency, and they have been found wanting by residents in this area. You cannot blame SPARK for this because SPARK does not begin yet. We're still in the procurement process. PIMSEC and PIMC, PIAB have just approved SPARK. So how can you blame SPARK when SPARK has not started yet? And the fact of the matter is, parish council roads are controlled by the parish council. The current leadership of the parish council in Kingston and St. Andrews is the People's National Party. So you cannot blame central government for this. And it's a bit sad that the member would choose to try and undermine what has been a very transparent and accountable SPARK process because she has come under pressure because of what has been clear neglect of a very important road for the residents in Painland.
Well, based on what she's saying, though, Minister, the road was recommended, and then she's also saying that the recommendation was not accepted based on the level of repairs to be done.
We have not rejected any recommendations. Each constituency has been asked to recommend 10 roads. We have not communicated to any member of parliament that we have rejected any road. And I think the media has a role to play in dealing with these mischievous statements. There clearly seems to be an attempt to compromise the transparency and fairness of the SPARK program. Robert Nestor Morgan, who has been appointed Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation in charge of works, is not the person who determines how roads are scoped and which roads will be done first. That is done by technocrats. I'm a policy person. Prime Minister would have announced in his budget presentation that we're going to spend X amount on roads. My duty is to take what the Prime Minister said and ensure that the National Works Agency and the various entities execute the policy mandate. I don't go down into the nitty-gritty and tell the head of NWA, so okay, do not give Angela Brown Burke those roads. That would be a breach of the rules, and that would be a breach of the law. So when you hear persons of whatever political persuasion seek to undermine tried, tested, and proven systems as to how things work without evidence, because she has not provided any evidence, all she has done is try to cover herself against the criticism of her constituents who feel neglected because after 50 years they are subjected to this sort of condition.
But help us, though, Minister. But help us, though, Minister, to understand the process to the point of finality. You indicated that the consultation, most have been completed within the constituencies. After the consultations are done, then it is the NWA who decides which one of these roads are repaired?
No, it is going to be a further consultation based on the length of the road and based on the amount of money that's available. So let's say, for example, let's use my constituency, North Central Clarendon. Let's say I recommended 10 roads. And based on the bill of quantities that currently the National Works Agency team is in the field now, measuring and designing the 10 roads. And let's say I am allotted $200 million in my constituency to fix these local roads. And the fact is that based on the design and based on the analysis, the cost of rehabilitating these 10 roads is $1 billion. I only have $200 million. There has to be a discussion between the National Works Agency and the political representatives and the community as to which roads are we going to fix, because clearly we cannot convert $200 million into $1 billion. So we're going to have to choose in the first year what are the priority roads. Obviously, there'll be additional allocations over the next several financial years that deals with other roads. But what MPs and the NWA and the community and the councillors are going to have to do very quickly within the next couple of weeks when we're finished our designs and our quantity assessments is based on the budget that we have, which of these 10 roads are the first set to be repaired. Dr. Angela Brown Burke is probably premature in her criticism because we have not reached out to any member of parliament as to which road is priority and which road is not priority. I think it's a bit mischievous. I mean, Spark is a very important program. No one has been able to come forward and say that it has been compromised or it is political, because we engage with every single member of parliament. And but it's clearly seeking to protect yourself from your own constituents to undermine Spark and throw Spark under the bus. I think it's very unfair and unreasonable.
So you reject the suggestion that politics is at play here?
Those are your words, but I think I can adopt them.
All right. I want to play for you what a resident said, and I want you to respond, because the Member of Parliament suggested that the blame for this is really at the feet of the government's road repair program. But this resident seems to be suggesting that this problem goes back as far as 2007. Bugs, if you could just play the third clip for me, the resident of Oakland Crescent.
A road. This is no road. This is not gully and this is not road. Because we have to switch on a pass, not even the sidewalk or work. Honking a grow. We don't know where we don't know. We can't even drive a car them on the road. We have to take the next road. This is not no road. When in a 2007, Porsche them drop them mall. Because Labour Right when they take up back the mall, Labour Right fix the road. Labour Right fixed it in 2007 and I don't remember it fixing again from that time. Maybe fix again from that time, but not from 2007. That's what I remember. A $700 for tip on shoes, you know. And every week when I go to church in a one heels, I have to tip it. The shoes make the right up, so I have to tip it. And that's no fear. One road, one justice. Angela Brown Burke, you need to come out now.
A resident there that spoke to our news center when we visited the community minister. So it seems to me that the Member of Parliament is coming under pressure. This resident says the last time this road, to her recollection, received any attention was actually under JLP administration. That would have been the Golding administration.
And that's the challenge with the current approach by the Member of Parliament. The people in the community would know about the politicizing of this road under previous administration. And it is a bit desperate, I think, for her to seek to undermine the integrity of the Spark program. The fact of the matter is, Ricardo, if you are the representative or your organization or your political movement is a representative of a constituency since 1976 thereabouts, you have no credibility to come on national radio to complain about infrastructure development. You would have been party to a government that was there for almost 18 years. The Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister, was the Member of Parliament. So you cannot come now when you have controlled the parish council divisions in this constituency in perpetuity, and this is a parish council road, to accuse central government, which has no authority. There have been occasions, Ricardo, where central government has sought to fix parish council roads in PNP division, and they have been written to by PNP mayors saying that the central government has no authority to come into divisions and fix parish council roads. So the parish council, the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, the councillor of this division, as well as the member of parliament, have no one else to blame for this road. Thankfully, we have Spark.
Right, because I was going to say, how do you respond to people who say, yes, sure, that's true, but you're now at the wicket, so you need to fix it?
We have Spark, and she has submitted it to Spark. And if, based on the priority listing of Spark, she insists on it being repaired through Spark, it will be repaired. But let us not be misled or misguided by the protestations of the guilty in the dereliction of their duty.
Well, Minister, I wanted to take you a little bit further because for a very long time we have had this distinction between what is parish council road and what is central government road and who should go to which representative. As Minister of Works, do you think that it's time we move away from this separation of parish council versus central government road and maybe have central government just focusing on the entire road network across the country?
That's a conversation we need to have. But then there are some who may accuse you of seeking to undermine the integrity of the local government infrastructure. Remember, we have entrenched local government in the Constitution with the omnibus legislation that we passed several years ago. So you cannot, on one hand, be saying local government should be entrenched and local government should be empowered, but on the other hand, saying that whenever local government entities or local government representatives do not fulfill their responsibility, that you need to blame central government. Now, central government has our ultimate responsibility for the entire country. But at the same time, in the whole atmosphere of governance and accountability, do not allow councillors who have been derelict in their duty to escape. If you have been in control of a constituency for over 50 years, you have no one to blame for the faults and warts that exist in that constituency. Worse, the former Prime Minister was was member of parliament in this constituency for many years. How can you then blame anyone else for the situation that exists here? You heard the person. When the election came in 2007, they dropped Marl on the road and they took it up back when the Jamaica Labour Party won, and the person said it was the Jamaica Labour Party government that fixed the road the last time. So
I'm moving beyond that though, Minister, because and I hear you as it relates to the law and what exists.
Acknowledge the source.
No. I'm hearing you as it relates to that, but you know, in my mind, I'm just looking on a more coordinated approach to deal with this long-standing issue that we have in the country as it relates to the road network and the parish council versus the central government.
The reason why we came up with Spark, which is a central government program, is that we recognize that over the last several years that there have been deficits in how the country has managed its community roads and how it has repaired its community roads. Spark is a capital project, which means that the government would have accumulated resources based on the management of the economy and would have been able to designate $40 billion for a particular purpose. So it's not recurrent. It's essentially like a one-off fix, right, based on the fiscal management of the government. And most of the money will be spent on what you would refer to as parish council roads. We are supposed to make an amendment to the Gazette where the central government will be empowered now to fix parish council roads. Remember, central government cannot just go on a parish council road and repair it without the permission of the parish council. So we have to make changes in terms of the legislation to allow us to do it.
Robert Morgan, Minister with Responsibility for Works, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
And I would love for you to tell my friend that I we as a government recognize the challenges that she's facing based on failure of her past administration, but we do have a solution that can ameliorate her suffering and assist her constituents in the challenges that they currently face, and Spark will be able to do that. So we look forward to partnering with her in ensuring that Spark is a success, so we can bring solutions to our tax-paying Jamaicans in Finland.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Minister.
We should also tell the listeners that we did contact Dr. Angela Brown-Burke to join the discussion. The calls went unanswered.
Indeed, we're going to take the break, and then when we come back, it's time to hear from you. We are opening the phone lines. The numbers to call 630-937124 and 618-8255. We take the break.
Nation's Business was brought to you by BH Paints. Paint it, love it with BH Paints.
Yo, run the track! Burger King 5K and Relay is back Sunday, November 10th, 6 a.m. New venue, Emancipation Park. Register with your school, alma mater, or companies to win a share of over $1 million. Past students, run, walk, or crawl, but finish the race for the BK Big Finish Prize. Register now at www.runningeventsja.com. Yo, run the track! Burger King 5K and Relay. Sponsored by Rainforest, Soccer Express, CVM, and Sun City. Burger King, developing schools and communities through sports.
The Ministry of Local Government and Community Development celebrates November as Local Government and Community Month under the theme Local Government at Work, Facing the Future Together. And you are invited to our National Church service on Sunday, November 3 at 10 a.m. at the Webster Memorial United Church, 53 Halfway Tree Road, Kingston. You can find the date, time, and location for all other events and activities at www.localgovjamaica.gov.jm. Come celebrate Local Government and Community Month with us.
Relax in air-conditioned comfort with Geddes Refrigeration Limited. Stay cool all year round with top brands like Lennox, Dunham, Bush, and their Glacier line. Don't worry about installation because GRL has you covered with excellent installers. Email grljasocialmedia@gmail.com or call 876-923-652-123 to enjoy the ultimate cool experience. Visit them at 226 Spanish Town Road, Kingston 11. Stay cool with Geddes Refrigeration Limited.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
This is your chance to upgrade your kitchen with the Mega Kitchen Promotion. Tune in to Outside with Pepita from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Mega Kitchen Promotion at Megamart, 29 Upper Waterloo Road on Saturday, November 2, 2024. Spend $6,000 or more before GCT at any Megamart location for a chance to win a brand new stove, fridge, and microwave this Christmas. Come on down to Megamart Waterloo for all the excitement, hype, and games. Walk away with prizes and interact with your favorite brands and products. Don't miss out. Come to Megamart Waterloo for the fun and leave smiling with prizes. Join us outside with Pepita on Saturday, November 2 from 2 to 5 p.m. It's the Mega Kitchen Promotion at Megamart, 29 Upper Waterloo Road, Kingston, or tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by Megamart. Due to the live stream of the Mega Kitchen Promotion outside broadcast on Saturday, November 2, 2024, Design Studio will be aired only from 1 to 2 p.m. Nationwide 90 FM apologizes for any inconvenience caused.
7 minutes after 7, we're on the final lap now. We're taking your calls. The numbers are 630-937124, 618-8255, and I'm being told only 618-8255 is in operation now, listeners. So you can contact us at 618-8255. So again, 618-8255. Richie, you're up first. Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening, Richie.
Sir. Good evening, Master Sanjay and Mr. Ricardo.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This morning I listened to Ricardo and George.
No, you never dare listen to Ricardo and George this morning at all.
No, Ricardo, man. You don't go already, man. The truth because we are talking about George Davis.
Yes.
And me then give me with some pamper. And me them say, boy, they want to save some clip because of the election coming up. American election.
Yes.
I mean, one of them say, boy, it's like, they're supposed to save some for you too. But they must say, because you say you might be the one, know what you say.
No, I'm comfortable. At this point, I am quite comfortable.
Tell me something now.
Yes.
I don't know if me hearing right. I think they said the American poll.
Yes.
Saying 60% of the people say the country is going the wrong direction. That's how it is.
I don't recall the exact amount,
No,
but it's a majority. Yes.
The majority.
Yes.
So what do you think about that?
I mean, that's how people feel. Yes, but I never place store on that because I doubt I've ever seen any public poll where a majority of any population in any country say that the country is going in the right direction. That's usually the case in Jamaica. We always say it's going in the wrong direction, and governments are re-elected.
One of the things that we have to remember is that everyone, they have their own reality and what they think should be a priority of the government. So I don't think you will ever find a situation where a majority is saying that the country is heading in the right direction.
But I think I'll listen again, and they say now in terms of the voter, I mean, the voting, I mean, it is the most voter turnouts, I mean, in this season more than the rest of the election. That's what they said?
In terms of early voting, yes. I think it's ahead of 2020 for sure. Some 60+ million people have already voted.
So I don't want to understand these things. So maybe just listen to, I mean, guys like you understand it. What's your opinion on it?
As in the high percent.
Which party you think it favor?
Well, when I was looking at the figures so far across the swing states, in some of the states, like for example Nevada, the Republicans are outpacing the Democrats. So too in Florida. I think that's also the case in North Carolina at this point and Georgia. But in the states in the upper Midwest, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, the Democrats are outpacing the Republicans. And I think another key metric to look at is the gender divide. So far more women have voted than men. The public polling so far suggests that Harris is expected to carry women by a very large majority. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Right, I think you're going to say because of abortion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's certainly one of the reasons that they are. So those things are heading in the right direction. And then there's the question as to whether all Republicans are voting for Trump. So the fact that somebody's registered as a Republican doesn't necessarily mean they're voting for Trump.
They're voting for him. Yeah.
And I suppose that the reverse is also true, because somebody's registered as a Democrat doesn't mean they voted for Harris. What else I also look at, which makes me comfortable, the independents are also breaking in her favor. And most importantly, those who say they were undecided up until the last week or so, by 10 points, both the New York Times and CNN polling found they're also breaking in her favor. So,
and remember, Ricardo, that with a race so close, the undecided may end up tipping the balance in one way or another.
Right. So those things, Richie, those things give me reasonable amounts of confidence. Another bit of news that just came out a while ago, the U.S. Supreme Court has declined to get involved in a ballot issue in Pennsylvania. The Republicans were trying to throw out some votes based on what they said was how the people's ballots were marked or dated. And the U.S. Supreme Court, a lot of people expected them to take the case, or at least to impose a stay. They didn't. They rejected the Republican challenge. And there were a lot of fears because just 2 days ago, they actually accepted a challenge from Virginia. So people were worried that they were going to intervene and perhaps throw out some votes, which would have, and the interpretation is that those people have perhaps voted for Harris. So as far as I see it, Richie, I'm comfortable where I sit.
American business.
It won't be long now. It won't be long now. Only 3 days to go. It won't be long now.
So that's American business.
Yes.
Who would know? The quiz we're talking about now.
Uh-huh.
Who your partner this week? This time, Ricardo.
My teammate next week, is Dana Davey, the producer of Nationwide at 5. So I think we're up against the E zone.
Who partner? Sanjay. Who about you?
I'm the cheerleader in this one, cheering on my team Nationwide at 5.
Team Nationwide at 5.
Yes.
Ricardo.
Yes.
You know why I ask you that?
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry you're not partner Tana this time. Because I tell you see last year?
Yes.
If you and Tana did just know when Michael Manley are wearing bush jacket.
No, we knew it, you know. No. You know what? That is a traumatic memory for me, you know, Richie. Why are you going to bring it up? We knew. The old man was just fast on the buzzer.
Yes. If you say, why would you lose? You know something? It's Venus. You know that time is like I get to know who she is because after the quiz, you know, me have to ask who she is, you know. Nara gave me a tackle, you know. Listen me, man. Listen me. You see Nara? You know why I think Cliff put her into the what's her program name again?
The Consumer Hour?
Consumer. You know why I think if we put her there?
Why?
Nara would ticket Nationwide friends and call upon to call upon him to give her a piece of the company, give her a part of the company, you know.
You have a very colorful imagination.
This is bad. We say that they don't do it because if we don't lose him, that reside.
All right, Richie.
Yes, good.
Thank you.
618-8255. That's the number to call. 618-8255. Good evening. Hello.
Hi, Ricardo.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, man. Hearing you clearly.
Look here, man. How you do?
All right. Oh, what going on, Rick?
What you do?
Good day, man. Look here. You just dissect everything with Richie family because that was where I was going Tuesday night and what happened after. Because remember, I told you around 2 months ago that the lady was going to win.
Yes, you were very confident.
And I told you that she was going to win handsomely.
Yes.
Cliff kind of believe me, but you are telling me say you're never so sure.
I was watching the situation. Yes.
Yes, and I said to you, I was showing you a few early pointers which you have now alluded to when you were telling me.
Yes, you did.
Yes, and my only problem with her, you know, right now, I'm wondering if she has all the people in place to get out the voters. Because if she does,
man, that score she definitely does.
They have the money.
They have the money, and they have the ground game.
And they have the ground base.
Yes,
so
man.
I have a small little flutter with a friend of mine. Two beers each, but the loser pay for the 4.
Well, there's a bet in the newsroom, and it's a high bet, $5,000. So somebody's gonna go home Tuesday or Wednesday morning with a lot of money.
You know, one of the things, though, I will say, I think the Democrats, they learned a lot from that election between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. They lost the ground game in some of those key counties. And they have the money now, and I think that from then, they have been positioning themselves, and we see some changes in the last election that they had in terms of the groundwork. And I think they have, and I'm hoping that they have solidified that, and we should see that at play come next week.
You know what impressed me about them in the last 3 weeks? She has not left the swing states much.
Yes.
She's hitting where the electoral vote will be important and where the margin of error was close like 4 weeks ago. Now she's gaining ground. And what I have noticed, as I said to Mr. Hughes Tuesday, Donald has never polled more than 48% in none of the...
Never.
Yeah.
That's a hard ceiling for him. He has not been able to go above that. Maximum ceiling. Yes, that's right.
And I think, as you just told Richie, the undecided and the women, because you see that speech the other night about the Puerto Ricans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
It will hurt them next Tuesday. That's why I was so mad with Sleepy Joe, Ricardo.
But you know, Alaric, one of the things that I recognize, Trump and his campaign, typically, they don't come out to retract any statement.
No.
And I was surprised to see
that's his
that
worldview.
his campaign team
doubling down.
Yeah, exactly. Normally he would double down. But his campaign team, they decided at that point to retract the statement, to distance themselves from that statement about the Puerto Ricans. And I'm like, they recognize that they're losing voters for that.
And I tell you something, Alaric and Sanjay, one of the clearest indications for me that he sees or his internal numbers tell him that there is trouble, the fact that he has started to say that there's cheating in Pennsylvania.
That would be my last point.
That to me tells me his internal numbers. Yes, his internal numbers tell him he's in trouble. When he's confident and he thinks he's gonna run away with it, there's no fraud.
No fraud.
Once he sees trouble, fraud, they're stealing it. And he's already started.
It will be more than 15 million in terms of how far the lady will do it. It will be better than what Biden got.
I still don't think I'm there yet with you and Cliff.
I'm not there yet.
I don't think I'm there yet, but I do believe she'll pass the mark.
Ricardo wasn't there with me 2 months ago when I told them that the lady is going to win. So
I will say what
I just need multiple data points, and I think I have them now. So I'm reasonably confident she will win.
I am very comfortable with where she is now, and I'll talk to you on Wednesday morning.
All right, Sanjay will be right. Sanjay will be right next to me.
Sanjay, have a good weekend, Ricardo.
All right, Sanjay will be right next to me in studio Tuesday evening. So too, Cliff, Siobhan, and we have.
Okay, I won't be sleeping.
We have quite a panel lined up, so it's going to be an election watch party. All right, 90 minutes after 7, Cleveland. Good evening.
Yes, good evening to you, Mr. Ricardo and Sanjay.
Good evening, Cleveland.
Good evening, Cleveland.
Good evening. Boy, I love you, them PMP people can ball, see?
What do you mean?
Today, I hear in the news to Michael a ball about film consistency and bad road.
Who was that? Michael?
Mr. Phillips.
Oh,
Phillips.
Michael. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And they never get enough money yet.
Oh.
But the problem is that if you go through all the PMP consistency, they never fix road. Never fix road. And now
is that true though, Cleveland? Is that true though, Cleveland? They've never no PMP.
Or when they're in government.
Me no know if I true that, Cleveland.
The people them suspend them. Some of the people them we couldn't stand it no more. And send them out grass.
Send them got grass.
I hear somebody said these people, the PMP have these people stand up on them neck and doing nothing for them, and them don't even say a word. You see? You notice where there's cut down tree and Black Road. Always where JLP representative is there. And yet the road was bad from they were MP.
And I tell you something, Cleveland, I think in many ways the government has become a victim of its own success.
Yes.
I think the fact that there are more people demanding more, to me, is a suggestion that people recognize that there is more room.
Yes.
Yeah, I just don't know if they're making the connections. Yes. But they clearly recognize that there's more room to do more. More money is available to do more.
Yes.
And so people are more vocal.
Yes.
So in a way that, it's a double-edged sword.
Yes. Yes. I think some of the people are getting jealous to see what's happening in other places.
Absolutely. And I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But I think give the government a chance.
Yeah.
They will get to all of these roads. It's about just that the rain coming will never stop. I wonder how they're working out their business.
By the way, Dana, I want you to play the video of of Minister Williams The one that's in the group. So, Favour Williams, Cleveland, has posted a video to social media. And it's a little bit out of character. It's not something that you'd normally see her doing. And I'm saying to myself, boy, it looks like the minister is taking seriously this business of being relatable and communicating well.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to play it for the listeners and
that
viewers.
is good. That is what is wanting.
Yeah.
But I think she will do a good job.
I mean, there's no doubt that she has the technical competence to do it. No doubt at all. Yeah. All right, Cleveland.
All right, Cleveland.
Take care.
Yeah,
Go
man.
to you.
Yep.
618-8255. Everton, good evening.
Yes, friends. How are you doing?
Doing all right.
Good.
All right, I have a couple issues, but against start with the one way about my brother.
All right.
All right. Dominica and Haiti, that's a border right there, right?
The Dominican Republic and Haiti, yes.
Yes,
It's
right.
the oldest
Dominican
island.
Republic. Right. All right. So I heard some organization had a problem with the fact that it's country Jamaica. We are not able to just when Asians breach our borders, just hug them up, kiss them, and let them in. No, the Great America don't do that. The Dominican Republic don't do that. Other countries don't do that.
Yes.
These are the same persons who are saying that the country broke and the economy is not managed well and this and that. Now, one of the things that I can't understand with this opposition, 1 minute they are saying something that the government worthless and not doing anything. However, on the other minute, they are saying that the government should be able to do this. No. Isn't that hypocrisy?
Here's the problem. Here's the problem, and I hear you. And it's a double-edged sword because part of the responsibility under the UN Convention is that people have a right to seek asylum. Yeah? And the government have to ensure that there's due process in seeking such asylum. But I also understand from the other end that the government also have a responsibility, given the scarce resources, to try and protect its borders to prevent individuals from coming in. But once they are on the shores, as what this group is saying, they must get that chance to seek asylum through that process, and then they can determine through the approved process of seeking asylum if these individuals are sent back after they would have entered the country.
Well, I believe there are some issues afoot to put additional pressure on the establishment. I believe that some persons are too swift to say, well, and you do this and you do that. For instance, this issue with the Bustamante Hospital for Children with a little girl, unfortunate as the situation was. Now, at the end of the day, person start beating the minister, right? While the hospital have a board, chairman, and other persons. Isn't that disingenuous? And I can name 1,000 other situations. All right, I'm going to say this again because I know I have to wrap up soon. The issue with Mama D, right? And the fact that the Prime Minister said, look here, lady, get up and come back to your feet, you know. Why? Because in the opposition party, there are almost 3-4 persons who have similar situations. And none of them never say, boy, I make her resign or step aside or whatever. Right? Now, I'm watching a news station last night. And I've watched news station every night. And I saw them, I'm not going to call them name. Them started in a campaign mode for the last maybe 3 years. That station. Right? But look here, the thing that was ironic for me was they carried the news and they carried what Dayton Campbell said. And they allowed that snippet to have Dayton beating the government. That means if a man come from Mars and come sit down in my room, he would have see Dayton Campbell side. I know Dayton Campbell trash the people in board and disingenuous and where them are lead the country to. Yet, the aspect where the deputy general secretary of the government party indicated 3 to 4 persons who had similar situations. Yet that snippet was not allowed to be heard and to be shown on TV. Isn't that disingenuous?
I can't comment on it because I didn't actually see that report to see how the journalists at that station carried that report. But if what you're saying,
if I am right, then wouldn't that?
No. Right, that's what I'm saying. So if what you're saying is to go by, I will accept that. That would be unfair in the reporting because we all have a responsibility to ensure that we carry both sides.
So to me, I can easily get up and say, based upon how me say them dispense and how them, them show and who they choose to and how them cut and paste, their news, it seems like they are in campaign mode. And nobody can do me nothing for saying this. Because this is what I am experiencing. Now, if you was a fair news media outlet, you'd have showed the two sides and allow me now to say, okay, all right, see point, yeah, see the other point. But they don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
How can one man just everything in being wrong, yet you hold him to another standard, you hold him to a standard, and you're building to this standard. Yes, I'm supposed to can fix every road and fix everything. Stuff that was not fixed during your 18 and a half. Stuff that was ignored maybe from 76 to today. Constituency where you manage for all these years.
But what do you make of what Ricardo? What do you make of what Ricardo said earlier, that the government, it could possibly be that they are a victim of their own success? They're doing well in terms of building roads, and then people are now demanding more.
Look here, I don't have a problem with persons demanding more. The problem I have is when the member of parliament who knows better, who sit down in a parliament and know how the box are dice. When him now rile up his constituents, to Black Road when if I go to school, if you have a little taxi man, them every time school for open, you hear say road bad. You never hear about road bad right through the summer until the Monday morning when school for open. Then you see road are black, one bunch of man, them can't take no more this, that. And the same taxi guys who out there, who get easily riled up for one side, If the police see them a breach and say, come here, my boss, them want to beat up the police. In this country, police can't afford to do them work. Because there are so many agents who are watching police, but they're not watching criminal them. They're not, when 3, 4 people, 5, 6 people there, you don't see them at the crime scene. But when the police doing work, you hear murder, this and that, and as at a convention now. This is the country where people only see the country through one lens, my boss. This is why I'm in this country, through one lens. When did we get to this? I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. This can change. Even to today. So for instance then, the election come tomorrow morning. I decide for vote. The other man who has a time coming up. I know me no see when say I'm going to do for this country, Never did, there's no manifesto, there's nothing, All me hear say time come for what? Make me know, nobody know why your ideas, my boss. So make me know, if you win this election, what to expect? Isn't that what democracy asks for?
Well, the PMP will tell you. The PMP will tell you that they have been putting out their plans.
What it is?
You haven't heard them.
Just say if you hear any, remind me, my boss. Because my ears talk.
Well,
so for instance, you hear.
What readily comes to...
You can ask me, Mr. Journalist. Yeah. For instance, you hear them say, them put out something.
Yes.
You can't just put out one thing, say you're going to be a dog, my boss. Your thing must be structured. And the economy, this is what we are going to do. And crime, this is what we will do. And education, this is what we do. And the medical facilities, this is what we will do. That is how I think a manifesto is usually structured.
Yeah.
But you can't come when you get upon one of you rum fest them on a Sunday evening. Yes, this, that, and you murder the man. You just mentioned one thing where they do different. And chances are the one thing with that is mentioned, they will not come from the head of the organization. Maybe I want member of parliament or one of them loudspeakers, they were just drunk and talk something. That is not a manifesto. Me supposed to can go somewhere, pull some document and say, okay, this is what John Brown said he may do. And he'll do it different because this guy is doing it this way and it cost the country so much. So this is how I'm going to do it. And this is the savings. That's a manifesto to be structured.
We would hope that's how the democracy works.
No, I'm not talking about you for opening my back.
No. I'm agreeing with you. That's how it should be. I agree with you.
We can't vote.
Yes.
We cannot vote a reality we're supposed to see. You want this thing and you say you want it so bad that's a time come. It's like me going to the supermarket and see a lady there at the cashier counter. And if you are cash, I mean the sugar out of the way. Time come and my time now. Man, virgin.
All right, Timothy, I appreciate it.
When the people remain silent, I remember telling you, Martin Luther King said thing, towards the end, I bright people, I'm not going to match up this, That's what Martin Luther King said, I will see it play out, because all of the bright people, them are line up behind one specific set of people, and you see them how disingenuous they are, how hypocritical. And then
you should be. Hold on now. You should be careful how you say bright people, I think you would rather say people with particular interests, but I don't know that I agree that is quote unquote bright people.
No, but just tell you Martin Luther King is something.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
Have a good one. All right, my brother. Thank you. So, listeners, I promised you the video of Minister Williams, the new Minister of Finance, promoting the reverse income tax credit. And here's a video Minister Williams posted to her social media pages.
You saw the TAJ press release today? What? What do you mean? About the $20,000 available through the reverse income tax credit facility for registered taxpayers who earn $3 million or less? You didn't see it? Well, so far, TAJ says 74,292 registered taxpayers. Each of them got $20,000 in the last 4 weeks. You know how much money that? $1.495 billion. And it's not done yet. In November, the THL says another 197,292 more registered taxpayers will get their $20,000. You know how much that is? $3.946 billion. Yes, it's legit. So apply now by going to the TAJ website. Fill out the form. Trust me, the $20,000 will come in handy right before the Christmas. My girl, this is how your government is working for you. This is how your government is caring for you. So make sure you get the $20,000. We'll talk again.
And for context, Ricardo,
hold on. You know what gets you about the video? When she says, my girl.
We just want to know, Ricardo, for context, for those who are listening and you're not able to see it on our YouTube channel, she was having a conversation in her office.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes. On a cell phone with someone. So she's responding to questions that the person is asking. Yeah. But I
absolutely like it. I like it.
Yeah.
And clearly she's responding to the criticism that she's not relatable and she's just a technocrat, and so yeah, giving a little bit of rebranding there. But when she says my girl. Go on the road, Minister, with your rebranding. Carl, good evening.
Good evening. Evening, Chef.
It's Sanjay, man.
Carl.
Good evening.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We stand in Jamaica. PMP government could have give back anything. And they go back and tell me why here.
As in terms of income tax?
As income tax.
No,
I remember one.
No, I can't recall. I
can't recall.
Mm-mm.
All right. Because this second Miss Williams clip there, me just said that to you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. When last year
Thursday I was in Kingston, and I have to go airport way and decide to use from right there, JUTC bus company there, so I was going Elliston Road way.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to take a drive from right at the bus company, right off there, so to go right to the stoplight at Elliston Road. That is the Youthful Exuberance Minister constituency. And look at the condition of the road.
That's Winwood Road?
Winwood Road.
I drive that road. I drive that road every day.
Well, you see what is going on all in front of Bellevue going out.
Yes, there are some potholes on that road.
Okay. When I hear Angela Burke.
By the way, can I just put out an appeal for Langston Road in East Kingston? That road is terrible. MP Paulwell, is it still East Kingston that side? Langston Road, or is that Julian Robinson?
Julian Robinson.
Whoever, that road.
It's one of the two.
One of the two. Langston Road. It need for fix. That road there is terrible. Pothole left, right, center, everywhere. If you can get Langston Road on the spark, that would be good. MP Robinson or MP Paulwell.
Angela Burke, I talk about the constituency we should take from Portia Simpson. You want to come right at the market, right at 3 miles or something, right under the high-rising building there, so start right up by top of the road. You don't have to go down there and look straight down as far as I can look down and look at the condition. Just turn up right up at the top. You don't have to go down there and look. It is just waiting on a disaster, a disease to happen down there. When you look on food box, you just look down in a hit. Where is Angela Burke? There is Angela Burke. Anyhow, just hear me, Brethren, just come off of the radio. A long time we not talk, sir.
Who the?
Yeah. The gentleman just come off.
Oh, Everton?
Everton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have to know what I need, man.
Okay, I see.
Anyhow, I heard him talking. TVJ is on a fool. He never call him name.
Yeah, so you come for call. You come for call the people in name and he never call. You know it's TVJ.
I watch the CM news. Man, watch this last night. Then it's on a
why you have to call people name, Carl? Why you have to call people name?
All right. Anyhow, a TV station then, if we say that then, TV station is on a full campaign.
I don't know that. I don't know that is true. I don't know that is true.
Hold on, record the gentleman point it out here.
Yes, but I'm saying I don't know, Carl, that the framing of that report, which I have not seen, was any kind of deliberate attempt to do any kind of, as you're putting it, campaigning. I don't know that.
All right. You want me to left that then? All right,
you might say it was, you didn't like the framing. It might have been poor journalism, but I don't know. I forgot about campaigning.
I heard Light B Senate from Wednesday night because line them I get problem. I do want to get on to Light B Senate. I heard Light B Senate continue to talk about integrity and all kind of rubbish.
I don't think not rubbish. Integrity is important, Carl.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to say something to you and take a look at it. Light B Senate was inside the parliament for 4 years.
Yes.
With a minister that a lot of liquor jeg go around.
I don't know.
Like the Senate didn't have no problem with him sitting inside the parliament with him.
I'm not even going to ask you what you're talking about, but okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I will call him no name.
We're not.
Like the Senate didn't have no problem. Another minister, to him wife have to run out of his bedroom naked for road. Like the Senate was inside the parliament for 4 years. He knew about
Carl, next topic. What else is on your mind?
Next one. Like the Senate, a man from where 2 times go to prison.
Is there anything else, Carl? Is there anything else?
Hold on. 2 different countries. Like the Senate is a part of the PNP, he have no problem.
As far as I recall, Lloyd B. Smith said he has left the PNP.
All right. Let me deal with some prosperity we're going in Jamaica. The reason why I have to continue to support the Jamaica Labour Party, 8 full years. Some people don't understand what no new tax means. Some people doesn't understand But when you get 1.5% take off a GCT, what it done for the person who is a business person and doesn't understand. And I heard Simon down in a Clarendon here, so continue to talk foolishness when he get on the radio. Not going to diss you tonight, Simon.
But Carl,
Simon,
I have a question.
Hold on
Mm.
the liquor. Simon, when we used to have to drive the poorest road, Simon, and take 2.5 hours to reach up to Melrose Hill. And now we can take less than half an hour if we not. If we are speed, we can take less than half an hour from Clarendon to Mandeville. Out of the taxpayer dollar, Simon. The over here now it open, we not pay no toll to use it, that Simon. That you call everybody a feel
Carl,
prosperity, Simon.
I have a question because I hear you, and we see what Dr. Clark did, leading the finance ministry. We see what's happening with the road work, the reverse credit that Jamaicans are receiving. But there seems to be a disconnect, Carl. Why is it that when you look just generally at the polls, one poll in the same
Hold on.
No, let me just finish the point. One poll, wait, just hold on, Carl. One poll says, just hold on now. One poll says it's very close, right? Another poll is saying the PNP is ahead. For whatever the situation may be, what do you think and where do you think is that disconnect? Why the message that you are telling us and what some individuals have seen, it's not resonating among the people? Why at this juncture, less than a year to an election, it seems like it's going to be close?
All right, let me say something to you. The Golden did walk around for 3 years and try to tarnish Andrew. I tell you something, Jamaica people was believing what Golden was saying. Jamaica people did not move away from the Jamaica Labour Party because of what happened. And you couldn't go nowhere. And people now tell us that Andrew was corrupt. The IC, after them send the documents to the parliament with the receipt, that is a final, that's supposed to be final. And the way Pantan came to the parliament and behaved, the people them are looking that the IC, the Integrity Commission, is in a bed with the PMP.
No, Carl,
tarnish
Carl, there is no truth or evidence of that.
Okay.
You've had your run. Good evening, Carl.
Okay.
NG, good evening.
One thing I know for sure is that this guy, Carl, when he calls in, most times he speaks the truth.
Oh?
Yes, sir. Oh?
Carl speaks the truth most times.
And most times, yes. Most times he speaks the truth.
But what he said
No, really
about
calling-
the Integrity Commission, is that the truth, though? Because we have no facts, no evidence to substantiate that point.
I presume you had heard what I said. I said most times.
Okay.
I'm not really going to go into that detail. I'm calling on a different issue right now.
All right, go ahead, NG.
Okay. I have been on the phone. I don't know if you were listening the day after National Heroes. That's last Tuesday gone. Tuesday. And Cliff had made it known that Dr. Nigel would have been on that morning.
Right.
So let me just kind of introduce myself. That I'm a senior citizen. I'm on my just past my 8th decade.
Wow, that's impressive. Congrats.
Thank you very much, sir. And when I heard that announcement being made on Nationwide,
yes,
that my radio dial does not move from, right? I said, hallelujah. Now I can get to speak to the man in person and let him know what my grouses are.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, when he came on Tuesday, an announcement was made that he would not be able to make it on Tuesday, but Wednesday, the following day, he will be on. So fine, okay. So I got myself up to ask him whatever questions, searching questions I had. He came on Wednesday, and he was a few minutes late. So, I realized that in order for me to get through, seeing that you guys have had problems with telephone, phone has been out of service, I decided to call Nora ahead of time and to give her my number and name. She did call me back and specify what time I could call in. I called in. I spoke to Mr. Nigel, Dr. Nigel, and of course Cliff was there monitoring. I want to let you know that us senior citizens here, it appears, the longer you live in this country, the more ill treatment you get. It appears that way. Because if I should tell you, Ricardo, is it Ricardo or?
Ricardo, yes.
Yes. If I should tell you what I personally have to go through just to get that life certificate updated, by the time I go through the social pension that was granted a couple of months ago, I was earning $19,000 every month. And we were told that this will be increased between 23.6% to 76%. Now, if you check the mathematics concerned, 19,000 to 24, that's a mere $4,000.
What's
nowhere near?
I'm sorry.
Nowhere near 23.6 to.
I'm sorry, NJ. I'm sorry. What's the challenge that you're having? What's the problem you're having?
All right, I'll tell you what the challenge is. I have been suffering some comorbidities. I have high blood pressure. I have to be taking medication for hypertension. Hypertension is high blood pressure. Eye problems, and then a couple of years ago I was diagnosed with enlarged prostate. Now, when I have checked it out, because of the problems I had with my eyes, I had to call my daughter in Canada to make the application for this $20,000 one-off payment. She got a response from tax administration that my application was not successful because I was not earning any money from any companies up to 2023. Now, how could that be? Who would employ me at age 79-year-old?
So you want to know why you didn't qualify for the reverse income tax credit?
Exactly. That's one part of it. Yes.
But you said it, NG. You were not employed during the fiscal year.
There was a specific criteria for that benefit.
To judge that. Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And Cliff, you mentioned that as well.
Okay.
And refer to the social pension that I was offered.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. My government says, as a pensioner, I'm eligible for this.
For the social pension, but definitely not the
reverse tax credit.
The reverse tax credit, because you were not employed during the year.
What do you mean that?
And so Nigel said, okay, he will. That was Wednesday. He had to go to the IMF on Thursday the following day. So time was of the essence. And so he said, if you were listening to the call, I don't know if you were.
No, I wasn't.
If he said he will have to check that out.
But you said Cliff already advised you. So I'm not sure. Is it that you want us to do something additional? NG?
Yes, additional. Well, not really additional, but I would like to know why I was not entitled to the 20,000 one-off payment.
Because the $20,000 one-off payment are for Jamaicans who are employed and have been paying income tax.
Right.
So
and that I was for 45 years?
Yes. However,
right, but in the present fiscal year, the fiscal year under review,
there was a period. There was a period.
Say that again about PR.
There's a period, so you have to be presently employed. Presently employed people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but go back to my searching points that. If they're saying that I have to be employed up to the year 2023,
correct.
Who was going to employ me at that age? Even though as much I would love to be able to work at that.
Right, NG, but that's what I'm saying to you. It was never conceived in the way the program was conceived and communicated to extend itself to seniors who are not now employed. But also remember, that there were a raft of benefits announced in the budget specifically for seniors. This was just one of the things announced for a different group of citizens. So you had different, initiatives that were announced for different parts of the population. So for people like me and Sanjay, we benefited from a marginal increase in the income tax threshold. I know pensioners received an increase. I can't remember all of the announcements that were made, but I recall that each of them was directed at a particular section of the society.
And you have, like, for example, the social pension program that was now provided for those who are 75 years and older, and they were not receiving pension.
That's right. And upwards.
Right. And then also, NG, recall, that one-off $20,000 that you're talking about, not everybody gets it, because if you earn more than the $3 million, even if you're presently employed and now paying the income tax, you wouldn't get it. So it was never meant for everybody.
No, I think you're right. You're absolutely correct. You're not fully aware of what's going on, because when I call various persons at the tax administration office, they say it could be an oversight. Right?
It could be an oversight.
An oversight. Why
you didn't receive it?
People like myself.
But NG, we explained earlier why you were not qualified. So it can't be an oversight.
If you say that's what they
here, sir.
No, hold on, because we're running out of time.
What they're saying is that if I was employed to a government, then I would have been eligible for this payment.
All right.
I said, how can this be? Why
So
is this discrimination?
if that is what
It is discrimination.
if that is what the tax administration has told you,
yes,
far be it from me to argue with that. But I would suggest to you then that conversation is best had with the TAJ. I have told you my
and I just told you, Ricardo.
Right.
That
What would you like us to do for you about it?
But NG, I'm being told by a number of individuals in the chat that the Minister of Finance himself spoke with you on air regarding this very matter, and he explained, and he would be an authority on the matter.
All right. So here is what they. All right. NG.
You might have had enough time, Paul, to call
NG.
Yes, sir.
Here is what the criteria says from the Ministry of Finance's website. It says it is available to eligible taxpayers who earn below $3 million annually.
Yes,
and
that I wasn't earning.
And their employer has filed their SO2 by August 31, 2024, or they are self-employed individuals who file their SO4 and made payments for the period of January 2023 to December 2023 by August 31, 2024, or NIS contributors who have submitted their 2022 stamp card.
So, for example, if someone was working last year and they are now retired, they would be qualified because up to 2023 they were working.
And that's what I thought. That's what I thought, Ricardo. And when the minister said something, he will call me back and try and straighten this out. Of course, I didn't hear from him. As I said before, I did not hear from him. So here am I, hearing all these nice things that the government is doing for us here. I'm still not sure if I'll be getting this one-off payment. And of course, we have to make that application by the 2nd of December.
NG?
Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry, but we are absolutely out of time. So we have to go. I am sorry. I don't have a better answer to give you than the finance minister or that Cliff gave you. All right? I'm so sorry about that, but we're out of time. Dana Davey, thank you so much. Our producer, Andrew Glenn Anderson, the man behind the controls. Thank you, sir. My colleagues in the newsroom, led by our editor, Cara Powell, the best in the business. Thank you all, our sponsors, contributors, and your valued listeners. We appreciate you so much. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And my name is Sanjay Lewis, and we're wishing for you a wonderful weekend.
Good evening.
This is your chance to upgrade your kitchen with the Mega Kitchen Promotion. Tune in to